Welcome to Metaverse Monday! Yay! Tonight we start the Metapocalypse!
Woo-hoo!
I'm your host and the GM for tonight, James Durham. Joining me at the table is Sarah Sanders-Odie. Vanessa, I'm going to try and say this right and not screw it up. Pastel.
Yes, that's right. It's weird. I don't know.
I wrote it out phonetically this time.
Thank you so much.
Because I just can't seem to get that name right. I don't know
why.
why.
Vanessa.
No.
I feel like that anyway. Okay, cool.
No.
Like Cher. Vanessa.
Yeah.
And of course, Luke Adamson. Luke.
Hello, Luke.
Christian Doyle is hidden somewhere.
Somewhere, I don't know where.
And I have Mark and Leo back on tech. Hi, Mark. Hi, Leo.
Hi, new Mark.
And it has begun. That's right, our team of big damn heroes has just gotten even bigger.
Oh.
Joined together by the assistance of Tom, can our heroes stop the unknown threat to the metaverse before it's too late? Masters of the Metaverse, like all of our Zoe programming, is made possible by viewers like you. Check out our Patreon page right now and find out how you can support this show and other shows like it. Like DFA on Saturdays at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I hear there's some like whispers of some other show on Thursdays going to be coming around. And then I heard there was some secret rumors about some kind of a wrestling-based thing going to happen with WrestleMania coming this week. There are actually going to be actors in the studio talking about wrestling.
Well, that actually.
So stay tuned for details on that if it's something you might be interested in.
Or they'll be in the studio talking about wrestling on purpose as opposed to talking about it during Metaverse or DFA.
I'm a little out of date on wrestling, otherwise I'd be able to supply information. My information on wrestling is about 20 years behind, though.
You watch it sometimes.
With you guys.
It's fun to watch with people who love it because it's infectious.
I like Glow.
I'm just behind on the stories. I don't know
Glow
who's who.
was phenomenal.
I like Glow a lot.
I also want to take a little moment here. We want to talk about some of our partner shows on here, like Dragons and Things. They're partnered with Paizo. They play Pathfinder. They sometimes do it well. Fridays from 6 to 10 Pacific time. They do that on the Gen Con channel. Is that right? That's the information I have. Okay.
It's a Dat Dragon show or something.
Yeah, Dat Dragon show, Dragons and Things. They do the Pathfinder stuff. Those guys are actually pretty good. If you watch them yet, they're really, they play better than well. They kind of poke fun at themselves a little bit too much. They're actually rather talented players.
They play better than well.
Better than well. Extra.
We also we host from the Gen Con channel every Friday Table Takes.
Oh, right,
11 a.m.
Christian's on that.
And Christian is on that one, and they cover all kinds of great stuff on new games coming out and all the things associated with that. And speaking of the shoutouts, I want to give special thanks to some of our Patreon backers, like Emily Roos. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
Robert Dendy. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Charles Negron. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Charles.
And a special shout out to Miss Winter for an early tip.
Thank you.
Miss Winter.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did you guys know that you can affect the game every single week? That's right. If you're one of our Patreon supporters, you can take part in our weekly poll and affect the game. And speaking of such,
chorus.
I got our results for the poll for this week.
Oh, polls, that's good.
That's right. For Luke, plus 10 hit points and plus 5 to a roll this week.
Ooh.
Thank you.
For Vanessa, plus 20 hit points and plus 7 to a roll.
Thank you.
For Sarah, plus 30 hit points and plus 10.
Holy
roll.
bananas.
Nice.
Thanks, chat and Patreon.
Yeah, and you know, even though it's less than all of yours, I did pretty well this week. I got plus 10 hit poents and plus 4 to a roll, so
Nice.
slight improvement on my end. Not everyone hates me.
Definitely better than usual. Congrats.
Yeah, it's getting moving up in the world. I also want to take a moment to thank our mods, Paximo and Alien Knitter. Please be very, very nice to them. Listen to what they say. Oh,
Or Alice.
What happened?
yeah, I see. I'm trying to read the board. Yeah. So is it not on the Gen Con channel then, AK? Did I get that part wrong?
That Dragon
that's the
Show is
part.
on That Dragon Show. The Gen Con Show is on the Gen Con Show.
Okay, that Dragon shows its own channel?
It's on Twitch, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
Oh.
My information was not correct.
I could cross it out.
Nah, it's okay. It won't help.
All right.
It never helped when teachers did it when I was in school. It's not going to help now.
I don't have my red pen either.
Fair.
You use one though?
No, I don't use a red pen.
But hey, with that, how about we roll some credits?
Do it.
Yes to the credits?
Conscripted by a secret organization, a group of strangers is loaded into experimental metapods, hurtling their souls across dimensions and into unsuspecting avatars. With each trip across reality, these newly minted metapilots gain access to unique powers and abilities, slowly transforming them into true masters of the metaverse.
Masters, masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't a bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice, bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters, masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse. Masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse.
Welcome back! When we last saw our heroes, they were all together, somewhere in Northern California. Finally, brought into one location by Tom. While the programs and founders wage their pointless war, Tom requires their help to stop a terrible yet unknown threat to the metaverse. So far, they have acquired powers and items at his behest in an effort to craft some sort of special metapod. Ronald Gabriel Zenda was liberated from a military prison in order to facilitate the construction of this device. But events from Masters of the Metaverse have left him comatose and unresponsive. Unwilling to accept defeat, Tom has insisted on pushing forward with the plan. 2 teams of metapilots are to enter the Metaverse. One team will travel to the Metaverse known as the Weird West in the year of 1916 to study a lost artifact so they can recreate it in their own Metaverse. While the others enter a Metaverse that none have been before, where Tom's data indicates an ancient map to the metaverse itself lies hidden.
I want to see it.
Tensions have been high. Past events, relationships, and circumstances have caused tempers to flare, and there is quite a bit of distrust in the air. Can they trust and believe Tom? Each other? What about all these programs, these founders, all these outside forces? I mean, Thomas seems certain that Tom is correct. But even Thomas's certainty only goes so far. But there's even a chance he's right, and there is a threat to all of the metaverse.
Dun dun dun!
Getting into your metapod, you can't help but wonder at the coincidence of it all. Wyatt Maxwell, here, now, and a metapilot no less.
Yeah.
You probably know him better than anyone else on the planet.
Well, yeah.
He seems very different. And not just the I'm a free man now and not in prison kind of different,
yeah.
But he has a confidence, a certainty that he didn't have before. And he doesn't seem to be as burdened with guilt and regret, the man you met inside. It might be a subject worth talking about. These other ones you're not so sure about. The Brony guy, he's just insufferable. And Maddox, so that was poor Mac's big sister. Wow.
Oh, no.
Big is right. And she's the only person you've seen so far that didn't flinch when Bruno looked at them. I mean, hell, it kind of looked like she was sizing him up for a fight, and he even looked a little worried. She apparently used to be Aquamarine's bodyguard? You're gonna have to ask her about that.
Okay.
Getting into your metapod, you can't help but smile a little. Your friend, Maddox, here, now. You should have recognized Mac. I mean, it's been years you never really paid attention to him, but he clearly remembered you.
Oh.
I mean, he's so outgoing with you and accepted you immediately when no one else. And you can see that her giving him a hug and like sharing some words with him has like changed his whole world. He has come out from, you know, hiding in the corner and reading Archie to actually talking and being around people. It's been a big change. Just her being there has just turned his whole thing around. The Brony guy, he's kind of a nerd, but he's okay. You know plenty of nerds. He's got some weird history with Crash, it seems. That Wyatt, now that's an interesting one. You might want to keep an eye on him. He's clearly very capable. Maddox trusts him, so he can't be all that bad. And as for all this stuff, wow, off to save the metaverse. If this Tom character can be believed. I mean, Thomas says so, but he's been gone a lot lately. And Crash keeps saying it's happening, the metaverse is here. Like it's supposed to mean something. Not that he's the explaining type.
It's happening.
As you climb into your metapod, you look down at your wrist. The watch isn't there, but somehow you still feel it. And with it, a quiet encouragement from your father. Dr. Clarkson, here, now, and a metapilot, no less. She knows everything about you. This could be really, really awkward. Everyone seems to be adjusting well to this fact that Tom wants them to save the metaverse, which is a pretty crazy thing to ask of someone. Frankly, you're terrified, but you also know that there's even a slight chance he's right. You have to do whatever you can. I mean, all those worlds, all those people. Nobody deserves a raw deal, and Wyatt Maxwell knows that better than anyone else. You can't let him die. You won't let him die. You're not sure if it's your words in your head or your father's, but right now, it doesn't really matter. White light surrounds you as you're pulled into the metaverse. And then water fills your mouth, waves crashing around you, shouts and screams as a wild storm rages. You desperately cling to a piece of debris from a ship, trying to get your bearings and get a sense of who this avatar is, what you're doing, where you are. When a massive swell propels you under, briefly you can see the seafloor. You must be near land. Relief is replaced by terror as you're slammed into a rocky shoal, plunging your world into darkness. You awaken sore, bruised, and wet. There's a warm sun on your back, and birds calling out amid the gentle sounds of waves. You're on a beach. Pulling yourself to your feet, you look around you. There are bits of debris scattered all along the beach, and two other individuals pulling themselves to their feet, the faint glow of pilots surrounding them. Will you please take a moment and introduce yourselves?
To each other?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Wyatt, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same, Dr. Clarkson. You had suggested maybe I find a better outlet than how I had been spending some of my time. I heard about a test for a new VR game, and it ended up being...
A game?
That's how it was sold to us. We didn't know that any of this was real.
Who's we?
Myself, Maddox McFerrin, Andy James.
Thank you, Jack.
Goggy. Fluffy Goggy. Hashtag hack attack.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Doggy.
You have goggies.
We were all together off and...
These are not other prisoners. I don't remember their names.
No, not prisoners. These were other people who came in thinking it was a game, like me.
Did your sentence get commuted?
I sort of worked out a deal where I got early release as part of filling in on this.
That is definitely strange.
Well, it was too good of a deal for us to pass up.
Well, obviously you're not in prison anymore.
Correct.
That would pretty much be the deal that you would want, as I recall.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
pretty much your goal.
Definitely good to get out of there.
Yeah.
Why were you in prison?
I trusted some people at my firm that I shouldn't have, and I essentially caught the rap for some embezzlement that the company was doing.
Okay.
That's okay with you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like her.
Yeah, she has her own quirks.
I do. That was so sweet of you to call them quirks.
I've been with you for a very long
We're
time.
becoming friends.
I feel close to you as well.
Sweet. I don't have friends.
Okay. Well, good to meet you
Yeah,
regardless.
you too. What was your name again?
Wyatt. Or Griffley.
It's in this moment you realize that there are only 3 of you on this beach, but 4 of you got into pods.
Oh, where's
Maddox.
Maddox?
Who?
Maddox, the other pilot.
My former bodyguard.
Oh, right. I forgot you needed a bodyguard.
I had 8 of them. But
8?
I didn't
You
need
had
them.
8
I did not
bodyguards?
need them. Yeah.
Well, you definitely don't need them now.
No, I don't. I've got you.
No, and you
And
know,
me. Well, me.
You have you.
What did you need bodyguards for?
Well, I call them. they weren't exactly my bodyguard so much as my henchmen. Henchman is a good word.
Do you remember how I said
women hench people?
Remember how I said quirks?
They were my hench
Quirks
people.
it is.
Yeah.
Good to have, I would guess.
I wish that I could talk with her. Where do you think she went?
I don't know. I mean, we all got in the pods, right? I rescued you. You're alive. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And it's so weird seeing you outside of the prison.
Yes. Delightful to be seeing you outside of mandatory therapy as well.
Yeah.
You haven't asked her about the whole glowy hands thing that you woke up to.
So, when I came to,
Sure.
what were you doing?
Healing you.
Something you picked up from one of the metaverses, I take it?
So you've been to many metaverses?
We've been to a few.
How many?
There was the Borks.
Wait. The what?
Borks.
Wait.
The Borks?
We were there.
We were Borks.
When was this?
Time.
Bork time? I don't know what Bork time is.
Time.
Okay.
There was
more than
there
one
was
time.
there was a big massacre and we had to fix it?
Oh boy.
No.
So it was fixed?
Yes, it got fixed. Did you do that?
This was when we thought it was a game.
You killed Borks because you thought it was a game?
We're not. I'm not proud of it. It was kind of the worst thing that. It's absolutely the worst thing that's happened.
In your life or just in the metaverse?
No. We'll go ahead and say life.
Thank you.
Oh
my gosh.
Well, it looks like
Oh my
therapy
gosh.
has taken at least a little bit.
Yes. Thank you. The tools for coping with that were
Sweet
definitely
things.
appreciated. No, I know.
Okay,
But
I'm
they're
sorry, I don't wanna
they're
make
back.
you feel more guilty.
Yes,
Well,
they're back.
okay.
We fixed it.
Thank you.
It's fine now.
You're welcome. So you
So
killed
we
the
were there,
Borks. What else
and-
did you destroy?
We got the bubble made in Sentinel City. We got it so that happened and they were safe.
Wait, what?
You made it?
You made the bubble?
No, because everything was going to go wrong, but we had to get it made.
Oh my!
I want to cry.
What happened there?
I don't even know if I could tell you. To be honest.
We had to take
Hundreds of years.
Oh my god! We were in this loop of hundreds of
years
of doing the same, of trying to get
I
the
was
bubble
the different thing
done.
Anyway, it's too much.
The bubble is now gone. Thanks for that.
It's
Okay.
gone.
Okay. Moving on.
God, I don't know. No, tell us.
Just
tell us.
let's just do it.
Okay, so
do it now.
we went to a metaverse that wasn't a metaverse called Toyland. There was this creepy entity there called Harvester that was taking kids and eating them, and we stopped him.
You did?
And we saved the kids.
That's good.
The 3 of them, at least.
You
no.
saved 3 children.
They were the only ones we found.
Okay.
Okay.
We haven't been there.
That's for the best. I would highly recommend you avoid it.
Okay.
Especially now.
radioactive.
Especially now. Why? What did you do to it? You set it on fire?
See, this
Turn
wasn't
it into
us.
lava.
This wasn't us. This was actually
it?
Tom.
We've flooded things before.
Well,
Quite a bit.
so we got a hydrogen bomb. We didn't ask for it, and Tom set it off right before we left, so that Harvester couldn't do this anymore. Bad.
That's what he said.
Yes.
What?
Then we. Oh no! And we went to the
Noting
Weird
that.
West.
Yes, hydrogen bomb. Bad.
Yeah. No. Look, I was concerned about that bomb from word one.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I'm so glad.
I bet. I mean, that's a natural response.
That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Maxwell, you're doing great strides in growth and emotional development. Continue on.
Yeah. Okay. Went to the Weird West.
How was it weird?
Werewolves mainly, but lots of other bad, goofy stuff.
Did people harvest zombies?
No harvesting children.
No, not children. Zombies, like, did people herd them and use them like...
Yeah, the weird, creepy tech zombie things.
I heard about that.
Zombie things.
Oh, tech zombies.
Yes, you weren't there when we went. There were zombies, and we had to like move them around like cattle.
You didn't miss much. Yeah, I'm betting that's the same place.
Right. What did you do
Edison
there?
And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do with Edison?
Nothing with Edison. Nothing with Edison. We went down to Texas and.
To be fair, the dome did save Sentinel City from a nuclear blast, which is good. Unless James decides that the H-bomb in Toyland was what caused it. In which case, oh dear, hashtag Wyatt buff. You might need it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Okay, so what? So you didn't do anything to Edison?
No.
You went to Texas.
We went to Texas. We killed a lot of werewolves that were doing bad things.
Why did you go to Texas?
We were all outlaws, and we're running.
From?
I think it was from Teddy.
Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Did you steal something?
No, we were just not particularly good people.
Yeah.
So
Seems to have happened a bit.
yeah, a couple of times. But as I said, we met Mark Twain and were nice to him, and it was good.
All right.
And we stopped a lot of werewolves. So
And you were on the run from Teddy Roosevelt. King Teddy Roosevelt?
yeah, King Teddy. Yeah.
Weird.
Again, that was the condition when we. Well,
Well, it was definitely the same Weird West I was in.
Okay. So that's a start.
Yeah.
What were you doing there?
Herding zombies.
Yes, I do remember the zombies. Yes.
Really?
They're used as like a workforce.
Okay.
You can keep them docile with grape juice, I think.
Grape juice?
Something like that, as I recall. It was one of the first metaverses I went to, so it's been a long time.
Yeah. It was after Sentinel.
You might want to go in more detail on that. We're putting up a dome. Who's involved in that? They might be.
So in terms of the dome itself.
Oh, right, back to Sentinel City and the dome you put up that took us hundreds of years to undo.
Again, sorry, but I did not know that.
It benefited us, though, eventually, like at the end. We know.
Maybe.
So
Anyway, keep going.
we there was a crazy little dictator who was trying to set up the dome, and we were pretending to be working with him. And Titan got killed. And
Wait, who?
Maybe a little dictator?
Titan got killed.
Titan.
Yeah. And
Titan of the Titan Force?
That's the very one. And then
Kid Titan's relative? Dad?
right.
Uncle?
Well, Kid Titan was dead, but
What?
we brought him back.
What?
So there.
Wait.
And
He was
yeah,
at the origin
Titan.
of the dome?
You killed him?
No.
You?
Titan killed him. He
What?
He went nutso.
Titan?
Yeah.
He went nuts and killed Kid Titan?
Yeah, and was gonna mess up a lot of us, but luckily he got imploded and sucked through various portals. And the point is, his body is what was used as the power source to sort of kick the whole thing off.
Are we sitting down?
Oh, and then we went.
Sit
Then we went back to that metaverse, but in 1942, and Balthazar had been killed, but we got him brought back to life. So
Wait. Balthazar. Balthazar's an uncle. Uncle to
Hex.
Hex. Grandfather.
Bad guy.
Yeah, he was sort of bad. Like, she talked to him, but he was like sort of on the up and up.
I don't know if I'd say bad.
Who are you?
Number one, hell of a chef. Let me tell you. A little?
Wyatt.
Anyway.
Wyatt.
A little?
We've been through this before. I can tell when you're lying.
Yes, a little.
Yes, a little. Please be more specific. What can you do that Balthazar could do?
Not death magic, if that's what you're thinking.
So you can't bring people back from the dead?
But I had help.
Wait,
I was
you can bring people back from the dead?
Only Balthazar, and it wasn't me. That was actually
Balthazar?
No, because Balthazar was dead. That was actually someone. She was from your group.
What?
She came in. She was playing this trained killer, this horrible guy who could smell everything. It was really fucking creepy. And she almost cut somebody's finger off, but didn't. I still don't know how that worked.
What's
her name?
Rosie. Rosie was the pilot.
Rosie brought someone back from the dead?
Yeah. She had scrolls from Balthazar.
Okay.
Which she
because
used
of
to
Hex.
bring
Okay.
Balthazar back from the dead. It was a whole thing. Actually, the bodies we ported into at that time were already dead and reanimated by Balthazar, so that was really weird. It's been a ride.
Yeah, that's strange.
So we were there at the same time?
Where?
In Sentinel City.
You were there at the same time?
No, it's you. It's not. You met Rosie. You met Rosie?
This was just recently.
Oh, this was recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just met her before you pulled me out and zapped me back to health.
Which is not the same as bringing you back from the dead. I just want to clarify.
It is possible. People have been going in and out of those pods like crazy since you guys have been up here. She could have easily hopped in.
Oh, I haven't seen her since we left Joe's Diner.
She is here at the facility. Well,
So
outside of your pods.
Right. Okay.
She was with the other
Joe's
team.
Diner as well.
Have you not been to a Joe's Diner?
No, it's a place there's a location to it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And never been there.
How have you missed Joe's Diner? You've been to all these metaverses and screwed a lot of things up. You didn't go get a milkshake afterwards?
We did not know about the milkshakes.
They're very good.
That's good to know.
We will take you to one.
Excellent.
Great.
Okay, so
Unless you're not supposed to be there for something.
Do you have any questions for us?
So you took the dome down. That's good. What was going on with that?
That was Dr. Migraine trying to control everybody and keep super villains and super people away from regular people.
Okay. Yeah, he was definitely messing with people's heads.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
At the time. But again, we thought that was all to the good.
You thought messing with people's minds was good.
Well, not that so much, but I mean the dome.
Yes, because big, imprisoning things are always good.
Protected.
So we could say the same thing about prisoners, and that we protect prisoners from the public who would want to kill them.
Well, I was wrongly imprisoned, so I have some feelings about that.
Okay, well, what about the people inside Sentinel City that might have been wrongfully protected?
But they were rightfully protected.
Do you know that every single person in Sentinel City was rightfully protected?
Okay, look. You wanted to know what I have, what a Balthazar rubbed off.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I have is occasionally I get a little premonition about what's going to happen. And
That's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yes, and when we were in Sentinel City, if that dome didn't go up, everyone was going to die.
Oh.
It was clearly not a good solution, but in the time, that was the only thing that we thought could
That's
work.
what you saw would happen.
If we didn't do anything, if we didn't make the dome happen.
I understand.
Okay.
And I've seen outside the dome. It was terrible.
What happened outside the dome?
Oh, it was
Wasteland.
wasteland. It was awful.
Okay, great.
Steampunky, kinda.
There were bats, big bat people.
Oh yeah, I had one.
Yeah.
Bruce?
Yeah, I think Bruce the bat. Yeah.
Bruce.
My
And there were
henchman.
dirigibles flying around, right? Little blimps and things. Yeah.
Yeah, we were on one.
Yeah, we're on one. But we had to be us. We didn't even get to be.
Yeah, we were.
Wait. You just went as yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We weren't in anyone else.
How did that work?
Not well.
Yeah, it did not work well.
Yeah. That would not be a metaverse I would want to be without an avatar.
Yeah, no. I mean, we had a few skills we could use from our previous avatars.
Evidently the skill to be a henchman, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, well, I don't need a skill to get to henchman.
She had many skills before she came into piloting.
And I use them in lots of different ways now.
Yes.
For good.
See? For good.
See? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever I feel is good.
Moral relativism.
Yes.
It's an exciting topic to
It's a welcome
It's
thing for me.
changed, though.
It has.
Different now. Don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm different. I mean, you could tell.
I would say so. This is definitely not a setting I would have pictured you in.
No, I didn't choose to be in this setting either.
So how did you guys get sucked into this?
We were
Blackmail.
Ah,
Blackmail. So.
sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's sucked.
Yeah, for a while.
Really. It still sucks. It sucks. It sucked the whole time.
Except for parts of it are kind of fun.
Yeah, and the growing and the learning aspect and the friendship.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of really beautiful moments.
Mm-hmm. I especially enjoyed the princesses.
Princesses?
Oh, yes, being a princess is quite exhilarating.
We were magical space princesses.
Ah,
Yeah, it was.
It was fun.
that sounds fun.
We learned, that's where I feel like I learned the most about being a friend.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Space,
Maybe you'll come
space
there
fairy
with us
princesses would seem like a good place for for building a friendship and camaraderie.
Yeah. So did you have any other questions for us about what we're? I mean, we have no idea what we're doing here.
Right.
We're on a beach.
Sitting on a beach here.
Well,
Nobody's brought me a Mai Tai, so.
yeah, I don't think this is a Mai Tai sort of.
It's a really nice beach, though.
Oh.
You have a
Warm
vague
and
recollection that
beautiful.
your avatars are explorers or something. You were looking for some island.
We're
It's
looking-
really vague. Oh, will you please put yourself fully in pilot for the
Oh,
Metaverse?
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really vague.
All right, so I think we're exploring and finding an island.
And also trying to find Maddox. We can't just leave her left to the winds here.
Well, perhaps she booped in someplace else. Maybe she's on the
Tom?
island.
Yes, Mr. Maxwell.
Whoa.
This is Tom.
What?
Yeah, this is Tom. I don't know. He came with the game version.
What?
He's really
Had
helpful.
Tom the whole time?
Yeah.
You just say, "Hey, Tom," and this dude shows up?
And I am here, your tactical operations matrix, Dr. Clarkson. It is very, very pleasurable to finally meet you in person.
He's here to serve.
I am here to serve. Aquamarine, hello.
Hi, Tom.
Welcome to our little group. We are not all here. I didn't
noticed
expect that. It's very strange. I had hoped to send you forward to the combat scenario so you could
Wait, what?
get
Combat scenario.
better at combat.
That's why we're
I
here.
appear to have gotten my wires crossed just a touch. Hold on. Oh! Well, shit.
No?
What? What shit? What?
There is literally no problem, Mr. Maxwell. You have nothing to worry about.
Okay, that means there's a problem.
Who is this guy?
Who's this guy? Who are you?
I'm your tactical operations matrix. You may call me Tom. I am here to serve.
He
That doesn't actually answer the question.
Where are you from?
I am from the Metaverse. Self-created.
The Metaverse?
Yes, near as I can tell.
Self-created.
Indeed.
And very handy with a hydrogen bomb.
You're
Oh,
the
you
one-
told them about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not something I'm proud of. Although, not something I'm not proud of.
You blew up a Metaverse.
It was not a Metaverse.
What was it?
It was something else.
What could be else?
It was something that was threatening my pilots.
That's
Like another
all we
world?
ever got out of it.
Like another verse?
A monster disguised as a world.
a monster disguised as a world. Has that happened before?
Not according to my records, although it appears that it probably might not be the only creature of its type.
Well, that's disappointing.
Harvester was unique, but not as unique as, well, any other unique creature.
So, by definition, not unique. Okay.
You pass right through him. It's like Thomas in the real world.
He even kind of looks like Thomas.
He really does.
This is weird.
Do you think Thomas came first or Tom?
Thomas came first.
Oh, so you're sort of modeled after Tom.
I built my matrix off of the information that was available from his floating everything in the time that he was completely disembodied.
Thomas made you.
No.
No?
I made me.
Out of Thomas stuff.
It was available.
You've got a Thomas?
Yes.
They're speaking of Thomas Wells. He was one of the metapilots.
And then he died, but he comes back and hangs out with us anyway.
I may have a solution to that problem.
Okay.
We should talk later.
Wait, why don't we talk now?
Because right now, you're supposed to be doing something, and you've been sitting on this beach for at least 30 minutes talking.
Do you work for someone, or are you just your own...
I work for you.
Oh.
I
What are
serve
we supposed to be doing?
saving the metaverse. In this metaverse specifically.
Okay.
Yes.
How do
you
we-
were supposed to be fighting off a... It doesn't matter. You're not there. You're here. So... Located somewhere on this island is an artifact that must be studied.
So we're on the island.
Good eye, Dr. Clarkson. Good eye indeed.
Well, how am I supposed to tell that it's an island?
I assure you this water surrounds all of this land.
Well, I can only see so far in
I
either
am telling
direction.
you that this water surrounds all of this land, making this landmass an island.
Well, now I know. Thank you. I did not have the.
I did try to tell you. Located somewhere on this island is an artifact you must study. Once you have done so, Dr. Clarkson, Miss Harvin, and Aquamarine should be able to use their combined abilities to recreate that object in our metaverse. It must simply be studied. Now there is a complication. I cannot currently locate Miss McFernan. She's here. Her vitals in her metapod are stable, and she's somewhere here in this metaverse, if not exactly on this island. I'll look into that.
Where will you look?
Well, I'm going to start with the island. It's not as big as it could be, although I should warn you before you venture out, this island has unnaturally large flora and fauna.
Oh,
No, not large. Unnaturally large.
Okay.
Have you
Big.
experienced unnaturally large flora and fauna in previous metaverses?
Do you understand the term unnaturally large and what I mean by that?
So like larger than what large would be considered?
Larger than what physics would allow. For example, you may run across a giant insect, which in our metaverse cannot exist because it is an arthropodic creature.
It's like a big ant.
Its legs would snap.
So we're like
Here, though, no problem. Ants for days!
So it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And we're Shrunk the Kids.
Analyzing? Yes, exactly like that movie.
That scans. Yeah.
Oh, I need no scorpions. No scorpions. No
Oh my
scorpions,
gosh.
No
Don't
scorpions.
say that!
No scorpions.
I'm so struck by you, Tom. Because
Oh, I'm highly disturbed by Tom.
we've never had any kind of purpose, really.
We've been looking for you for some time.
We? Who?
I and the pilots of Project Metaverse, since we escaped the facility initially.
It's true.
So you're an entity that created yourself at the facility out of Thomas stuff.
And, yes, and project files and whatever else happened to be there.
And you're trying to help us save the metaverse.
Because it is in terrible danger, yes.
And the metaverse is everything.
The metaverse is all of the worlds in which we visit, including the one that is our home world, yes?
That is my understanding.
Oh, good. My definition is correct then.
I mean, I think
I'm
you
gonna
know more about
process.
it than I do, but
I'm not sure that is true.
really.
You've been to at least as many metaverses as I have.
But okay.
You are one of the most experienced pilots in the entire world. At least our world.
Because of how many different worlds we've been to?
Yes.
So you've just been with him the whole time. He's
Yeah.
helping you.
Yeah.
You've had this help.
They needed the help.
That is very, very
Could
true.
you imagine? Could you imagine if we had had like somebody to tell us what we were supposed to be doing?
Once we determined the vast conspiracy of the Project Metaverse, along with the war between the founders and any other groups that may have been involved, well, it was clear that they needed help. They are not pilots of the same, and don't take this the wrong way, Mr. Maxwell, caliber as you.
Oh.
You had a distinct advantage in that you have many sources of power and a bond that has been strong since its very inception.
So you were created and you were brought in after we were already
In.
the metaverse.
Okay. So we have to find a thing.
So evidently they moved on.
Fine,
from
full
blackmail.
disclosure. Initially, these pilots were going to be trained and tasked with hunting you down. I used that algorithm, if you will, to train them and use them to hunt you down.
What were they going to do once they hunted us down?
Unclear. It does not matter. That has not been the objective for some time. What matters is that we are all together now.
What changed?
You know, I actually
That was
think
back. That was when we still thought this was a game.
I do think it actually matters though.
Why?
Past intentions are just as important as current intentions.
They had no intentions before, neither did I.
All right.
But what Project Metaverse required was that you were found.
All right. But not for nefarious reasons, just found.
Most likely for nefarious reasons. It was run by Jebediah Lexington,
Oh, then definitely nefarious reasons. Got it.
which is why we broke off ties.
Thank you.
Well, you are
So-
welcome. See, no harm, no foul.
So when we first got in, the Bork thing.
So sad.
So we had dampeners on, so we didn't understand.
Immersion inhibitors, keeping them from fully experiencing the reality of their avatars.
And Tom's the one who took that off of us and let us know that this is all real. So if we hadn't had Tom, we'd still be floating completely aimlessly,
Killing
and probably
everything in your sights.
and probably would be coming for you, just as the next goal of the game.
Huh.
Like I said, not trying to defend it, just that's the situation.
The good news is
That
we
makes sense,
changed
but-
the game. The bad news is we are all playing now.
I'm Okay.
Just playing to save the metaverse.
Indeed. If we get the parts that we need, like collecting keys in any game, we use them to open the door we need.
Master key time. Okay.
I was saving that analogy for Mr. Robbins.
What? I've been away for a while. I'm not up to date on my video game references.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
So I think we should find the thing.
Indeed, there is an artifact. I know very little about it, and I'm sorry I can't give you advice there. However, I am a tactical operations matrix. When you need me, which should be in a tactical situation, I will be there. Just call my name. Oh,
Okay.
and Wyatt will tell you about loot boxes.
Wait, what?
Loot boxes.
Okay, so this is actually really, really cool. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Uh,
Tom.
You're welcome.
Echo. Echo.
so, loot boxes, we can't just use them all the time,
No,
but...
no. What are they?
Okay, so basically, Tom gets us whatever we need. So...
What do you mean? Like, you could just be like, oh, I need a rope. Oh,
Absolutely.
I need a
Now, it can't be bigger than, you know...
freaking glass
A
of
bread
water.
box?
Than the box. A little bigger than a bread box. Like, last time we used them, we just got a box filled with cash. Like, real useful stuff like that.
Wow.
An espresso-based backpack-mounted gun system.
Gatling.
Gatling gun, yeah.
Espresso?
Yeah. So, get creative.
Wait.
There was a pair of pants once too, I believe.
There was a pair of pants that had apple seeds in them, and you could plant apple trees with them. They were Johnny
Whoa.
Appleseed's
Oh
pants.
yeah. I remember the pants.
You've experienced the pants too.
Very well.
Okay.
The pants kept disappearing.
Yeah, we had the same problem.
Oh.
Well, not me, but the group.
Okay.
So I can just say, hey, Tom,
Yes, Dr. Clarkson.
I'd like a Snickers bar.
You require a Snickers bar.
No,
Hmm.
I'm just testing a theory.
Ah, you want to see if I can bring you a Snickers bar with my loot box.
Yes.
I am offered only a certain number, whatever the metaverse will allow me based on your current immersion. And right now, you have none.
Oh.
Now, I could conjure a Snickers bar for you,
I'm really okay. I don't need it. Maybe in a couple hours.
but to do so would create a paradox, which I am just learning about, and they are fascinating.
Yeah, okay. No Snickers bar. No paradoxes. You
What
can
happens?
keep that reach as theoretical as you want.
Have you experienced this before?
Well, with low immersion,
No, but I definitely
with
don't
low
want
immersion,
to.
it would create a paradox. With higher immersion, it does not. We can even pull things from other worlds if
Like
necessary.
if we really, really need it, you
That
mean?
sounds awfully familiar to something you just saw in a different metaverse.
Thomas just did that.
Whoa.
Yes.
What did he get?
A scroll.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Thomas and I, as I said, have similar programming, so programming the loot box algorithm was not that difficult.
Did you talk to Tom?
What the scroll?
I have spoken to Thomas several
What did
times.
the scroll do? The scroll brought chat? Is that right? No, what did the scroll do?
Have information?
Thomas used the scroll to contact Crash back in his
Oh.
home metaverse and have him disconnect
Oh,
Zenda's
right.
Metapod
Disconnect Zenda so
forcibly,
that he wouldn't die, right?
resulting in him being in a coma. Currently.
Right, but he was gonna die.
That was the belief.
Yeah.
We disconnected everybody's metapod.
That yes.
Crash misunderstood.
Well, that's why we got sucked out before the fight
Mhm.
really could happen. Okay.
So Snickers bar maybe later.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.
After you've experienced this metaverse more, certainly.
Okay. Let's.
Immersion.
That's great.
Immerse.
What should we
The
be-
brush about 20 feet from the beach starts moving and shaking.
Oh, you might
And
need my help sooner than later.
crabs, the size of small cars, begin shuffling out of the brush, heading in your direction.
Cars.
Let's start a combat with initiative, my friends.
Okay.
Ooh, initiative.
Full
Good.
pilot.
Um,
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I don't have an ACV anymore, correct?
No, you have an initiative modifier. Since you're full pilot, you will use your pilot's initiative modifier.
Okay, but not the ACV as well.
Don't worry about the ACV.
Okay.
Worry about your
So
initiative.
22, 24.
24 for Jenika. Wyatt.
28.
28. Aquamarine.
18.
18. And crabs are at 20.
The crabs are at 20.
Mr. Maxwell, begin.
I am going to burn my buff and go
Wyatt's buff you.
run away from Avatar.
They're about the size of hatchback cars.
Oh!
That is
Like
so.
a Subaru?
Yes,
So
the size of a Subaru or so.
Subaru-sized crab.
This is what I meant about unnaturally.
Yes, I gathered.
We have crabs.
I am going to pull out my safari rifle and take a shot at the lead crab.
Oh, he's got an accent now.
You went Avatar.
Dig it.
Beat it by 5.
And what is the damage on your safari rifle, sir?
That would be a total of 60 damage.
Take that.
The Englishman steps forward, braces his rifle very calmly, aims, and fires a single shot. And the crab just kind of splays out and flops down. The others shuffle right over their fallen comrade and
Well, of course
continue
they do.
forward.
I suggest we make haste for the tree line. Cheerio!
Aren't they coming from the trees?
Yes, Dr. Clarkson.
Coming from the trees! What?
I would like to use my knowledge of science and crab anatomy to
Crab
know-
anatomy?
crab anatomy.
Crab anatomy.
And discover their weakest spot. And
Excellently done.
And then I would like to use swarm form and
You will desiccate a crab with swarm form. That will be a use of your swarm
Yes,
form.
I
Will
get
you give me a science roll or a biology roll
Yes.
or any kind of intelligence that would be the relative?
I beat it by 3.
You move inside in swarm form and pick the crab clean of meat, putting it in a nice, lovely pile next to the deceased crab.
I really like crab.
She spreads out into a form of
I pray all the other avatars have such wonderfully posh accents. Pip pip old bean. Stiff upper lip and all that hashtag metapoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Her body literally explodes into these tiny
Awesome.
wasp things, and they zoom across into this crab, and then pull all the meat out, and then come right back and reform, right as she was a moment ago, just all in one motion. It's quite impressive.
Indeed. Capital.
That only leaves one of the remaining crabs,
That
which
was what I
shuffles
just said.
forward, and with one of its massive pincers, it tries to grab the large Englishman.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
You're able to get your rifle and forcing it back, grunting a little bit with the effort. It's pushing you back on the beach, but it has not grabbed a hold of you. Aquamarine.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, what do I have going on for me? Oh, there's meta points.
Yeah.
There are 5 meta points.
Oh, boop. I'll use 2 of them.
2 meta points used.
Well, I'll use
3?
Do it.
3 of them.
3 meta points used. All right.
Oh man, I ain't afraid of these crabs! I bring out my awesome hammerlock
Yes.
and I scream with my custom shotgun pistol and variable rounds.
Which one of the rounds are you going to use?
Shot shell.
A shot shell round. Give me a shooting test.
Yeah, because I'm walking forward as I'm saying this to the crowd. This is a close range one.
Excellently done.
Ah!
Give
Telling
me a
him I'm
shooting
afraid
test.
over and over again. Okay, good.
Wait, different dice.
You'll use
you're
10s.
totally
Yep,
right.
you get to use the better dice because you are closer to your avatar.
Okay, I roll a 10.
What is the damage on the slug for the variable or the shot
40.
shell? 40. You completely destroy the claw that was trying to grab the Englishman. It is just a
big is it?
stump there. There's no crab claw anywhere. It's a torso-sized crab claw. It's just gone.
Oh, it's
blown
gone.
completely
It's
into
not there
chunks.
anymore. I
And
stick
fresh
my tongue
crab
out to
meat
try
all
and-
over your face.
Tastes good, huh?
Unfortunately, I have a bit
Yeah.
of a shellfish allergy.
Go back to the
This is
top.
gonna be
Oh
bad.
no, really?
Nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about.
Alright,
It's
let
just
me know.
off-putting.
If he starts swelling up, please let me know so I
Yeah.
can correct it.
Mr. Maxwell, it's back to you.
Reload and take another shot at the next closest to me.
It is the last remaining one. It is very close to you and missing one of its claws.
That's good.
Beat it by 8.
At point blank range, she placed the barrel of the rifle against the crab and fires a shot. Like the first, it slumps, spread out. There's a nice pile of crab meat, though, that your nanowasps even conveniently steamed for you on the way out.
Yes.
I spit on it.
On
I grin at it.
Wait, not the crab meat that I harvested, just the crab.
Oh yeah. And
Not the meat? Okay.
I don't know.
I
I
wanna
imagine
eat that.
the meat. You know, my spit isn't dirty. It's full of triumph.
I'm just gonna.
In point of
scoop
fact,
off
it
and-
is dirty. But the triumph
Thank you.
also full of.
Thank you, Grizzly. Such a nice guy.
I do my best.
Ha!
You're an interesting character.
You're an interesting character.
I am definitely an interesting character.
Guess we'll see about that.
Pause for one moment, guys. Hey, you at home watching, there is a new item in the store. It's called Newsflash. Someone bought one. I am going to do the first one right now. Newsflash is a headline or news blurb from the metaverse that is the home world of the pilots and is in direct relation to events going on and people going on in that world.
Oh, cool.
So Newsflash 1 is, federal authorities are seeking the public's help with locating Jebediah Lexington, former head of the tragically destroyed Project Metaverse facility. Mr. Lexington disappeared shortly before the tragedy on the island. He is a person of interest in the FBI investigation.
No kidding.
Person of interest indeed.
That is your Newsflash.
All right.
Thank you.
giant crabs. Anybody want some freshly steamed crab meat? I siphoned off the spit part so you can have some that's clean.
Thank you kindly, but
Oh,
no,
but shellfish allergy.
Yes, I've found that my constitution does not usually agree with regional delicacies.
What? Okay, great. Great. All right, so we need to find an artifact.
Are the crabs good?
The 3 crabs are destroyed.
Okay.
One of them is a pile of meat, and the other 2 are just played out on the beach. They're already attracting smaller ones of their kin coming out of the water and pulling bits up.
Sure.
And the seabirds are already landing on them. Nothing's going to waste.
Can I shoot down a couple of those birds?
If you wish to.
Well, for food later.
We have crab meat.
Oh, I'm not gonna eat that.
I mean, there was spit on it. Heavens, how would you eat something that was spit on?
It
Oh
is
no,
her spit.
I only eat what I cook. So
Great.
you'll like it.
The beach is pretty short. It only goes about 20 feet up before it just becomes dense jungle, spreading out almost as far as you can see. And off to your right, maybe a quarter mile down the beach, it looks like there's a river that goes in.
I
Yeah,
suggest we follow the river.
Yes, capital idea.
that's where we're going anyway.
It is
Exactly.
Well,
hot.
let's go.
It is hot, sticky, and sweaty. The insects are huge, like 4-foot long centipedes. Flies the size of birds. And the ticks. Oh, the ticks.
Do I have knowledge of all of these animals? Like, have I seen
Smaller
them before?
versions, like the versions we're familiar with.
So our avatars are also like.
You are very much
Surprised
weirded out by
by
this,
these?
but also somewhat not as the 2 of you especially, you were on some kind of an expedition to some lost island. And no, everyone said it's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not out there.
Oh, it's out
But
there.
Your leader, Marjorie St. Cloud, where is she anyway? She was insistent that the island is real.
And once
believe
again,
her.
Marjorie is proven correct.
Well, I'll see it when I believe
But
it.
she's
also.
nowhere to be found.
Where is Marjorie?
Where did
Clearly our
Marjorie-
first order of business.
Clearly, she didn't have what it takes to be in charge.
After about 4 hours of following the river, you reach a lake. And that lake is crowned with a big waterfall on one side. And it's quite a large lake. The waterfall itself is carved into rock of a massive skull. The mouth open with the water pouring out the skull. It's very, very covered in brush and like vines and stuff growing down it. There are fires lit in the eye sockets, and there's all kinds of little paths you can see now around the lake, winding around. I think this is definitely very, very, very heavily used. You can see a little switchback trail that goes up along the cliffside, along the waterfall. And at that moment, a spear flies out of the jungle past your head, landing in the ground somewhere in the jungle.
Get down!
Yeah.
I scream.
And kind of hide behind a tree.
I scream, but it's cool and quiet.
Let me see. For Griffley, how about if you have a notice check if you don't?
I do.
Alright. For
Or no, I don't,
Dr.
'cause I'm over here.
Clarkson, do you have ninja stuff will work for you?
I have ninja stuff.
And you are, do you,
I have acrobatics.
does she have notice?
Oh, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
Heroics, though.
Give me a heroics test. You both give me notice tests.
I beat mine by 7.
Beat it by
I
7.
beat mine by 1.
I equaled mine.
The 2 of you spot tribesmen moving through the woods, painted up, very primitive looking, holding spears. They're covered in like gray mud or something that really darkens the color of their skin. One of them had just thrown a spear, and for your heroics roll, the second one that had just thrown a spear, you bat out of the air before it can impale Dr. Sandra Kane.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And we will roll initiative and begin a combat with tribesmen at this point.
Oh,
Can
dear.
I speak all languages, or at least
You
understand
do
them.
speak all
Are they
languages.
saying anything? that I can
Strangely enough,
understand?
you have not heard a word from them.
Okay.
Not one.
Okay. So I don't know what language they're speaking.
Because they have not spoken. This is correct.
Okay.
What do we have, Dr. Clarkson?
21.
21. Wyatt?
15.
15.
13.
13. The tribesmen will be going first and hurling a volley of spears out at all three of you.
Oh,
Those spears at Dr. Clarkson. What is your dodge currently?
2.
2. That will be a miss. Number 2. Also a miss. And number 3. Also a miss. The 3 throwing spears, you are horribly, horribly unlucky. Or you're just very, very lucky. One of the
I
two.
have ninja stuff. I'm just going.
Mm-hmm.
3 spears.
Well, ninja.
It's the,
Well,
the Matrix.
And what is your dodge currently for Griffley?
That would be 0.
The second spear is definitely a hit.
Oh no!
Only one of them hits you. That is going to be 10 points of damage from the crude wooden spear.
Ouch!
It's essentially a sharpened stick, and it's now sticking in your leg.
Oh!
Stiff upper lip, stiff upper lip.
You're brave.
Thank you, thank you. I try and muddle through.
What is your current dodge?
+4.
Whoa!
You are just too quick for these spears. She moves like a ninja,
Wow! That's a cat.
Like a cat.
jumping and bouncing around, and wow, is she quick.
Wow.
I'm an ace.
Dr.
call me.
Jenika Clarkson, there are 10 tribesmen hidden in the jungle around you.
Excellent. I'm going to try to do a sun flare. And
Tell us about this.
it says my target is blinded for 1 round, and I can select additional targets equal to the amount that I succeed by on the roll. But I don't know what number I'm supposed to get.
We're all going to roll against for you. Sorcery.
All right. So I'm trying a sun flare.
All right. Let's see how many you get.
I beat it by 3.
Beat by 3, so 3 of them are blinded.
Excellent. And while I'm doing this, I'm trying to say hello or peace in all the languages that I know.
She just starts spouting off words that you're pretty sure are so many languages, just rapid firing, at least a dozen before you even stop paying attention. It's impressive. You've never heard anything like that before, and then just they roll right off of her tongue. Like there's no thinking about it. It's like she was born with the languages or something. It's amazing to see.
Wait, that is bloody handy.
Mr. Maxwell, it's up to you now.
I am going to attempt to remove the spear from my thigh. All right. And then I will take my safari rifle, point it skyward, and fire a warning shot, and yell out, Now, none of that, you. None of that. There's no need for violence.
Will you give me a side-kicking check?
Before you use these, check with Tom about your immersion. It probably wouldn't be a good idea to start the Metapocalypse with a paradox. Hashtag LOOT box.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited to use that.
Yay!
Me too. I don't know what to do. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Beat it by 5.
Beat it by 5. You fire the shot into the air, and 3 of the tribesmen immediately scatter. The 3 that are blinded kind of stagger away like they're attempting to get out of the area, but moving through dense brush, their attempts to get out of the area are comical at best.
Especially when they're blind.
Yes.
Right.
After that, Aquamarine.
Who's left?
There are 3 that are definitely going to continue the assault. You can see 3 that are blinded very nearby, and 3 that are running.
I really think we should get out of here, you guys. Why don't we just run away? I don't want to.
What would you like to do?
I think we should just run.
You think we should just run, like
Yeah.
along the river, trying to find this thing we're trying to find, away from these guys throwing spears at our backs?
You really think they're gonna follow us?
I really think we're gonna get spears thrown at our backs.
All right.
I must say, I don't recommend the spear thing.
No, really?
Half star. I'd give it 0 if they let me.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we had a little talk about it. So I really would like to pull out. I imagine I have a pack.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a weapon.
Pack
Yeah,
section.
we're
all kinds of
explorers.
stuff.
Exploring?
You're explorers.
Got lots of rope going on.
Yes.
You're explorers. You got all
Okay.
kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm gonna use my acrobatics, my stealth, and heroics
Okay.
to swing, like,
Vine?
there's definitely trees.
Oh yeah, all kinds of
We're
jungle.
gonna separate ourselves from them. I'd really like to build like a little like enclosure around them, whether around their bodies or around the trees that are immediately.
You want to
surrounding
tie them up in the trees?
them. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that'll be fine. Not like too. Just so they can get away.
Okay.
I don't want them to stay there. I feel bad.
Give me a relevant skill test.
Okay, acrobatics.
That will work for starting. Let's start there.
Start there. And I beat it by 5.
All right. Now
Nice.
follow that up with something else.
Oh, how about my heroics?
Perfect. That is the absolute perfect skill to use.
Because I'm yelling heroic noises. I did not beat that one.
You did
I
not.
lost by 1.
Wait.
Oh.
Patreon.
You do have a Patreon buff you can use.
I do. I have my +7.
Do you want to use that?
Yes, I want this to be successful.
All right. She heroically tumbles through the bushes.
I got
manages
this.
to not get caught on all of these like vines and over. Somehow, through some miracle, not caught in the bushes.
Oh.
And ties these guys up all in one fell movement. It's unbelievable. You have never seen people do what you just saw these two
I'm
do. And
smiling
you've
the
seen
whole
some
time.
things in the
Okay.
metaverse now, but this is something else.
Ha! Ha ha! Like I'm making noises like that. And then when I dismount, I make a final ha! I'm barely winded. Alright, come on!
In the
Yes, yes.
distance, up by
Cracking
the
heroic
skull
noises.
waterfall, you hear drums sound.
Oh, that can't be good.
Oh no. Is that what it sounds like?
Yes.
This reminds me of something I experienced in the Punjab during one of my tours. I would strongly suggest we flee as quickly as possible. No good comes from drums.
Is that a fact?
Well, in my experience, yes.
Or drummers.
Yeah.
Especially
I
drummers.
agree. Anyway.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Where are we going to go? I'm okay with this plan, but we
Okay.
need to have we're trying to find an artifact. How do we find it? Where do we think it would be? In a highly guarded place where there's a skull mountain face?
And drums.
Or just gonna be in the random, like a roadside?
Okay. What if we hide right now?
We could do this sneakily.
Yeah.
Oh.
Super sneakily, stealthily.
Yes.
Even.
I like
And
the cut
we-
of your jib.
Yeah.
Yes.
We hide.
Thank you.
We like her jib. Okay. And then we watch. Ready at the
You
ready.
can see a column of the tribesmen coming down that switchback, and you can hear more in the bushes coming your way, and more coming from back over this direction. They seem
Okay,
to be
there's a lot of
pushing
them.
in from all
Let's go that
sides.
way.
All right, well,
And hide also could be a great.
yeah, let's regroup.
You see one of them pop out of the
Oh,
jungle, maybe like 70, 80 feet away from you.
It's okay.
Clearly gets inside of you and pulls this object. It's like looks like it's like a bullet that you would throw at somebody, but instead of throwing it at you, he just spins it over his head, and as he does it, it whistles really, really loud.
Do I have a sling? I got a gadget here that could knock that out. Do I have a slingshot here? I got this.
You have a talent that allows you to do things like that. What?
I always
explain
have the
to-
right tool for the job.
You do. You happen to be carrying a slingshot for some odd reason at this very moment,
They're
just
heavy.
for that.
Cool. I get it out.
Give me a shooting test to try and knock that out of his hand.
Oh no! No, I got it right on.
You managed to shoot this bullet device out of his hand, stopping the whistle, but it had already
No, I did
begun.
it by 2. Shooting is 14.
It had
I'm
already begun,
12.
but the noise does abruptly stop.
I think they know we're here.
Well, at least it's not happening anymore.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
But they're definitely getting closer.
So we better get out of here. Come on,
Yes, yes.
Doctor.
Yes, let's go. I don't see a way that we can kill them. Or we don't want to kill them, they're just tribes people.
That is true. I mean,
Or
they did attack you,
We
but
can hide, and then when they're all out of the skull head, we can.
May I offer a suggestion? I have some powers. What if we convinced them that we were deities?
Ah, the old I'm your god play.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
What if I flew and started glowing brightly?
That would
I
be
didn't know you could do that.
crazy.
Yes.
I would worship you.
Indeed.
You can do that?
Yes.
Okay, I know that you can do that. It's fuzzy.
It is, right. I understand where you are. It's fuzzy, but I can do that.
Oh,
What if I went out?
I don't like the deceit of it. Why don't we
Seriously?
just wait?
No, because we're going to get killed.
We hide real good.
Still going to get killed. They know we're here. Woo, 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 woo. Remember?
I do remember that, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. What if I...
Seems weird.
It's very weird. That's why they're going to think that I'm a
Okay,
deity.
You're right. This is an interesting place for your mind to go. So you're gonna float above?
I was going to float above the river near the face and start glowing until I can hear them talk, so I know what language they're talking, so I can tell them to stop fighting us because we're not bad.
Oh, my senses feel like that's not a good idea.
You just want to run?
Hide, wait for them to pass, go inside the skull head, find the artifact. It's a perfect spot.
Let's try your way first. And when they find us and try to kill us, I will then levitate and glow.
All right, sure. Okay, if they...
They're almost on top of you at this point.
All right, find us a great spot.
Ha! Right there!
Oh, excellent.
Dive!
Everyone make me stealth checks.
There's a nice, like, overhang. Get off the road! I was saying.
I beat mine by 9.
Made it by 2.
I beat it by 1.
3 of you duck down into the bushes. Try and make yourselves as small as possible. Several groups of them come by. Looking. A couple of them poke the bushes really close to you. Not one of them makes a single vocalization the entire time you've seen them. They don't do any like weird hand gestures. Nothing. But you are certain with your capabilities at psychoanalysis that they're somehow communicating with each other because they express an awareness that only people who are making some form of communication would. It's obviously not just mute. But several of the groups move by, and after about 40 minutes or so of them like heavily beating the bushes, looking around, most of them head back up into that skull, and some of them just disperse out into the jungles around you. They could be anywhere around you, you're not sure.
They seem like bugs. You know how bugs communicate with each other?
Yeah.
And live in a little hive.
Yeah. There's gotta be a main bug. Right?
A brain bug.
Starship Troopers.
Some kind of smart bug.
Is that a smart bug? Yeah! Like, just like that.
So are we still hiding?
At the moment, you have not moved.
No, I know. Is that still the plan?
No, we gotta creep now. We gotta creep.
Creep. Yeah.
To what?
Creep.
We're
So
gonna
I
creep. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Nobody says creep unless quoting TLC.
Yes, I know. I know this. Griffly.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're gonna creep and try
It's
to...
always being there.
It's vague, but 90s lyrics will never go out of my head.
Oh, I want a t-shirt that says that.
It's vague, but 90s lyrics will never go out of my head.
Okay. All right.
Are we trying to kill the head bug?
If there is a head, well, maybe it has the artifact.
Maybe. Sort of what I was trying to say.
I don't really like to kill things unless I have to.
I agree.
Doctor.
Thank you.
So let's
Sneaky into the skull.
sneaky into the skull is the perfect name for this operation.
Yes.
That switchback is pretty much out in the open. There's no sneaking of that switchback.
What about the river underneath the waterfall?
Oh, cool idea.
Possible.
Like we tunnel.
We swim.
Oh, right.
Yes, let's go investigate.
Give
to
me
see if there's any
a psychology test. I'll do a
back
psychiatry test.
Door.
Would you like to know more? Hashtag newsflash.
Nice. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. Well done.
Yes.
I got a 5 and my psychiatry is 14, so I beat it by 9.
Thinking about that in the plan, in your memory, you realized that not a single one of those tribesmen got within 5 feet of that water. Not once. They purposefully walked around it.
I wonder if it's holy,
Like the
or if
sun's aliens.
I wonder if it's holy, or if it's really, really toxic.
I'm betting toxic or home to some hideous monstrosity.
Yeah, definitely a monstrosity. I'm not afraid of it.
Why don't we throw a rock at it first? See what happens.
Okay. Alright, you gotta find a good rock.
What? Maybe you could find a good rock. You
I'll
seem like
find
a
a
good rock finder.
Thank you.
You
agree?
Yes, please.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I
You
look
climb
for
out of
the
your
rock.
hiding spot.
Good one.
She digs around in it, finds a good rock, picks it up, and right as she's pulling back, you see off to your right another one of those tribesmen start to spin out and start spinning the whistling thing in the air.
Slingshot.
And then the rock flies out and lands in the water.
I'm gonna sunflare him.
I could just use my slingshot again.
You could. I beat it by 5.
You have clearly blinded him. That thing has not stopped spinning, and it's making a very loud noise. And you can hear the rumblings and the drums start up again behind the skull.
What happened in the water?
The rock just hit the
rock
water.
splashed.
Nothing.
I think no beast.
Not yet. We don't know what lurks here.
Or if it is a beast, it doesn't eat rocks.
Or it doesn't eat rocks.
Right.
Shall we make a run for it? Try to get behind the waterfall now?
You'd have to go up that switchback or through the water and try and climb it. And the switchback is where the ones playing the drums are on their way down from.
Guess we gotta go through the water
If that's your intention.
to get behind the
Let's give it a
water.
try.
Let's test it and try. Let's make sure it doesn't eat our clothing or.
There are more than 100 tribesmen
Probably a
coming
big
down
monster.
from
Oh
that
my
mountain.
gosh.
This is a monster.
So
That's
you're
basically.
going to creep, chasing the waterfall?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, should we heed TLC?
Don't
Should we not go
chase
through the waterfall?
waterfalls.
I would hate to go against the wisdom of TLC. I don't think any good can come from that.
Then what is our next option? Just run?
We have to stick to the rivers and the lakes that we're used to.
Yes.
We are not used to any of these rivers and lakes.
Well, we're used to one.
No, we're not used to any of them.
Well, we spent
This
some
is an
time
unknown
next
island.
to one.
A beach. We were on a beach.
The beach.
Oh,
You're right.
Where are we going to run? We are on an island. We're just gonna run around in circles.
We gotta get into the water.
I must say, I'm still leery of the water.
I'm
as-
going in
Hey,
the
I'm
water.
leery too. I'm leery of everything.
I'm getting annoyed. I'm going
That's
in
a
the
good
water.
You
plan.
break from cover, from the bush. At this point, tribesmen are starting to come down
I
all the
dip a
different
toe
paths.
to make sure the water doesn't eat my shoe.
You stick your toe into the water, and your shoe begins to smoke.
Oh, balls.
Shit.
No water.
Okay.
I take that shoe off.
I propose an alternate plan. Run away.
Yes, let's.
Let's do it.
You begin running,
Quickly now, quickly.
and there's all these paths to go on, so it's an open ground as you're running, but it seems like every time you're about to take a turn, there's more of those guys coming from that direction, and then you're headed off, and then headed off, and then headed off, and you can hear them moving through the jungle behind you, and it's like 30 straight minutes of pulse pounding, running,
As we're running, I'm like,
sweating.
guys, I think it's time for me to fly and glow. Just saying.
Go,
Then you
plan,
hit-
bud.
Then you hit
Yes.
this marshier, like, so with less paths, and it just ends at like bog, and when you hit the bog, the pursuit immediately breaks off.
The bog making us smoke? Oh, are we
No.
in the bog?
But it gets a little deeper and marshier as you're going in.
But it doesn't like
They
sizzle
s-
us.
Now they stop. A few of them that look like they might be able to have a side of you try and throw spears out into the bog at you. None of them come that close, but
Ah!
they won't come in. They just stop at
There's
the edge.
probably a bog monster.
Oh, this can't be
But I'm
good.
not afraid of it. Yes.
Nicely, nicely.
I feel you on that.
I like it.
For the win.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know from experience when you are being chased by a group of non-communicative natives.
You know from experience this has happened to you
You
before.
didn't tell
Yes.
us?
This once again was back in my days exploring the Orient. There was a time we came across
that
a
anymore.
similar transition in the topography, and the chase was immediately ended. Now, I can't remember if that was the spitting cobras that we encountered, or if it was the giant arachnids. But I do remember it was a very bad time.
So you think we should go back?
No. I'd like to investigate, see if there's anything I can figure out about this new sort of setting.
Give me an investigation check.
With the +2, if you'll grant that, I hit it.
Absolutely. You did just tell us a story, making that relevant. Would you explain that one real quick to the players at the table so they know why you keep bringing this up?
Yeah, so this will happen frequently. Reminds me of a story I heard once.
Oh my God, that's
Griffley makes up a story, giving himself or any other character a +2 bonus on any check relevant to the story.
Nice.
That's awesome.
In this case,
Relevant.
Yeah, super relevant.
you are pretty sure this marsh is a very dangerous place that might contribute to the tribesmen avoiding it. There are large proportion snakes and lizards that you can clearly see. Some of them look at you like fairly possible meal. None of them are as monstrous as, say, the crabs you encountered on the beach, but bigger than normal ones. You know, like iguanas the size of like house dogs as opposed to... And again, like more of the bird-sized flies. There's hornets that, you know, have bodies as big as your head.
Yes, so eyes up, everyone.
Well, at least we're gonna eat well.
And down, yes.
And there's, you know, lots of crisscross webbing and webs, and the spiders about the size of chihuahuas are on these webs.
Not cute.
I would not worry if I were you. Spiders of this size are rarely poisonous. However, these spiders are.
Maybe.
That did not
Tom,
help.
you always know just the right thing to say to make it all better again.
Well, I am here to serve. Ah, that was a brisk run that I did not have to partake in because I do not have legs.
Quite.
Yeah, well, barely affected me.
I can see that. You don't even appear winded.
Not winded at all.
Dr. Clarkson, you seem annoyed.
Oh, I was annoyed. Now, just squeamish.
Squeamish.
She wanted to break into tiny pieces in the sky and glow, but I gotta tell you, that made me super nervous. We didn't explore that.
Break into tiny pieces and glow.
Right, Doctor?
You and me both, buddy.
Yes.
It is a choice.
Choices. Interesting. You said that.
So, swamp.
Bob?
Yes.
Are we closer to the artifact?
I hope so.
Have you located Maddox?
Have you located the artifact?
I have not. That was not my objective.
Okay.
What then has been your objective?
I am still attempting to locate Miss McFerrin.
Lovely.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
Perhaps your avatars may have some insight? For example, who are you all?
I'm going to use the last 2 meta points so that I
Excellent.
can not be full Jenika.
You are a team of explorers, hired, the two of you, by Lieutenant Marjorie St. Cloud to accompany on her various adventures around the globe. Griffley here is her butler, assistant, and major domo, and often the cynic and voice of reason. If it weren't for all the great places that she takes you, you would have quit
Oh, for sure.
a long time ago.
Absolutely.
She is arrogant, she's annoying, she's full of herself, but she always has the greatest maps to the craziest locations and lost whatever, and always buys the story. Somebody's selling, oh, there's Atlantis out there. She's buying the map, and it doesn't matter if it's a fake, she's gonna find something.
Yes, indeed. She does.
Always.
I admire that about her. But she's a bitch.
The two of you are quite good friends.
So you are
said I
Dr.
love it.
Sandra Kane,
See.
and you are a naturalist.
Yes. I enjoy studying the biology.
And Griffley, you are the assistant to the famed explorer, who is not with us.
Yes, indeed. It seems that's still the best place to start.
And that would make you...
Rebecca Santiago. She's an ace pilot, navigator, and inventor.
Excellent technical prowess, as well as a love for adrenaline. A good fit for you.
Yeah. Reckless, excessive recklessness.
An excellent fit for you.
Something to prove.
Oh, this
I
is-
also have something to
Unafraid.
prove.
Oh, bother.
Because there's deeper hurt here inside.
Ah, they're always
So, I
is.
do sense that we are not
That
getting
is
further
bad.
away from Miss Clarkson. So,
Oh.
Huh?
we are not getting from Miss McFerrin.
Right.
Pardon me,
Not
Dr.
getting
Clarkson.
further away?
We are not getting further away, so through may be the only way out.
Through the bog.
Yes.
Because of course it would be through the bog.
Every so often you can catch a glimpse of one of those tribesmen still back there on the edge of the bog. They're doing the pacing back and forth. They're looking really aggressive, like they really want to come out there and stab you, but they're just not going to set foot in the bog.
I can identify dangerous plants, helpful plants.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of both dangerous
so
and
I'm going to
helpful
point
plants.
out to everybody all the dangerous ones. Don't touch that.
The biology here is amazing.
Yes, the biosphere is very exciting.
There's
That-
so
don't
much
touch
can
that.
be studied and researched.
This one is good. Don't touch that.
I wasn't gonna.
Collect some of that. It might help with your situation.
My situation?
One thing, and I hate to be a bother, but running 30 minutes on a leg with a spear wound was rather unpleasant, even for an Englishman.
Hold on, let's get this plant over here. Stuff that in there.
Thank you.
You go ahead and make me a biology or medicine check, or whichever your choice is.
Either way, I beat it by 7.
The
Oh, I
pain
beat that
is
actually by way more
immediately
than 7.
almost
Nice.
numbed and
that by
gone.
9.
Whatever leaves she just ground up, and she knows what she's doing. That is for sure.
Oh, wonderful.
Maybe
Thank
the
you.
wound is still there, but you could barely even feel it anymore.
I'm so sorry, I did not do that earlier.
Oh, not at all. I didn't want to interrupt.
Your politeness does you harm.
The sun is getting
So
low.
I've been told.
More bugs are coming out.
Ah, yes. Come dusk, the nocturnal hunters will begin to come out.
We gotta get
That
through
should
this.
make this trip more interesting.
Nocturnal hunters?
This force field
Oh,
that
yeah.
Jenika
Owls.
has, could I...
Well, in a swamp.
Giant owls.
That.
Right?
In a swamp,
Could I
giant
make it
owls seem a
bigger
very,
for
very
all
good
of us so that we can
possibility.
sleep?
No.
Okay.
This is a personal thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Come on.
And swamp creatures generally come out at night to sing.
It is quite loud.
You know, I could.
You know, crickets the size of Coke cans make a lot more noise.
Crickets the size of Coke cans.
Uh-huh.
This will make a good meal. All right. With protein. Why is everyone
very
here?
good.
We're exploring. We're out here in the wild. What else are we gonna eat?
Sorry.
Well, what are you planning on eating?
That was Jenika coming through.
You know,
Well, I've got my trail biscuits still. They're a bit hard, but they serve.
how many you got?
A handful. You're more than welcome to some.
How many later?
All right.
I could probably build us some kind of cool
A raft?
raft with some kind of
I
mechanism.
I know the botany we should use to make that. Flexible but strong.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well, I
Oh.
should get on that immediately. Huh.
The
Would
raft?
this be the
Get
kind
on
of thing
what?
we use the lupins for? No, it's a small box. It's gotta fit in the box.
Do you require something?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's get an engine that'll push the raft so we don't have to.
Oh, yeah, I can fix that.
I would have to see the raft first.
Okay.
Unless you require something more inflatable, perhaps a zodiac?
It's a zodiac.
It's a small floating boat, very fast.
It's very fast.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we probably require it. Get
If
us
you
to the
are
dock.
sufficiently skilled in operating a boat, as I know many metapilots are for some reason,
I'm your pilot. I'm your pilot.
very well. It may take a moment to inflate, as I have to fit the contents into a loot box!
Oh,
A
exciting!
glowing box just falls down, splash, right into the squall.
Touch it.
As you crack it open, there's a collapsed inflatable raft inside.
Just pull the yellow cord.
Pops out into place, air filling it almost immediately.
That never gets old.
Oh, have you seen this before?
Yes, these are the loot boxes.
Oh, yeah. It was cool.
All right, well.
And the glowing box that it came from separates like digitized pieces and goes up to the atmosphere.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, Metaverse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Metaverse.
All right. Let's get in the boat.
Come on.
It's
Yes.
nice to get that.
Nothing bad
moon
ever
out of the
happens in a
marsh.
boat.
Yes.
Nothing bad ever
Said
happens
no one.
in a boat.
And any metaverse anyway.
Well, we got to get through the bog somehow.
Moving through the
don't
bog
wanna swim
is
through
slow
it.
going in the dark.
Sure.
Particularly with all the little branches that pop out and you gotta
Watch out.
navigate around things. Every so often you hear the flapping of really large wings, followed by a splashing sound, like maybe something is grabbing something off the surface of the water or something.
Natural. It's so natural. Tell yourself that.
The sounds of the circle of life.
Yes, and it's really loud. Now, the
Moves us
crickets and everything, and about 2 hours into the dark on the boat, it gets dead quiet. All the crickets just stop.
I tell you, that's
Not a mosquito around.
not a good sign.
No, I'd rather think that's disastrous, actually.
Are there any plants around, or is it nothing now?
It's still more the Martian bog. That part hasn't changed. Just dead quiet. It was the crickets were going, crickets, and they just so the whole world went silent.
I'm going to grab a calming leaf of some kind and just chew on it.
Oh, you wanna look around with a light for that?
No, I'll find it. I can find it by feeling.
What if you touch the wrong plant in the dark? Wouldn't you die?
Only if it was a poisonous plant.
Given our location, that seems likely. Or at very least possible.
You're supposed to know the difference between
I already gathered the calming leaf when it was light.
Ah. The
They
retcon
bear a
maneuver.
remarkable similarity to Yum Yum leaves.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, really? Okay, then I can't see it. Never mind. I saw it.
I just needed a
I
calm.
won't ever forget about the yum yum leaves.
The dead silence continues for about 10, 15 minutes.
The dead silence.
You hear a really high-pitched, shrill, like whistling noise, like something moving through the air really swiftly, not a train. And this tentacle, like appendage, comes flying out of the dark. It has like a thick, knobby, grotesque-looking end.
Oh, I say.
Slams right into the side of Griffley.
Oh, hentai attack!
Oh!
As it hits him, it kind of flattens out a little bit, and then woof, Griffley is gone off the boat and into the darkness.
Oh no.
Remember me!
You are pulled through the air really fast. You were just on the boat, and then this goopy thing sticks to you, and then you're inside somewhere, and there's a lot of pressure. And it's slimy and warm.
Ew.
We're gonna have to cut him out of there.
Ribbit!
That will be 20 damage, and you will continue to take 20 damage per round while you are ingested.
Okay.
Gross.
Let's roll initiative.
That's a great idea.
Are you uncomfortable yet?
Yes.
I also rolled a 15.
Very uncomfortable.
I also
15, you said?
Yeah.
For both of you.
11. Rather trying experience. It's taking me a bit to adjust.
Or rather...
Go ahead and
being
start us
ingested.
out. Jenika and Aqua, you two decide amongst yourselves which one of you is going to go first, and we're going to stick with that. But you two are the top two. So one of you's first, one of you second.
You, me?
She's
Sure.
faster.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's faster? Okay, you do you.
So it's dark right now, correct? We don't have light.
It is very dark, and he just got yanked off of the boat.
I
Out into the
imagine I have
darkness.
light on me. I wanna pull out my big, gorgeous light.
You've got a flare.
Yeah,
Let's start the hashtag hack attack. We're cool like that.
You are.
you are.
Thank you,
cool.
chat.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I got my big, gorgeous
You
light.
got a flare out. It's burning pretty bright. You can see a little. You see no sign of Griffley at all. Just swamp.
Nothing at all.
And as far as the light of the flare goes, I mean, he's probably beyond the 25 or 30 feet you can see.
I have another flare.
Doesn't really make it much brighter.
Come on.
It's just really bright right where you
Am I
are.
holding like
But
this?
it does make you look awesome.
You do look really
The radius
cool.
of
Rabbit.
light does not expand by holding an additional flare.
Okay. Oh, you were gonna say something? I got my flare.
No,
Anything
I'm-
else? Holding
I
flares.
don't have any other.
Okay, holding
I don't have
flares.
any other light
Keep all
sources.
flares.
I-
You
nothing.
could chuck one off in the direction that he went to see if you can see
Yeah.
further.
I do that.
There you
Chuck
are.
it.
You throw it, and because it's a flare, it does not go out upon impact with the water. And you see the very, very disturbing 12-foot tall, 18-foot long frog.
Oh, that's...
And its mouth, like lower jaw, is doing this motion, and every so often you see like a boot print or like a part of a face in the side.
There he is, in that giant frog, Doctor. We gotta get in there and pull him out.
That was yes,
Are we still in initiative
Dr.
right now?
Clarkson.
Okay.
She speaks trapped in frog as well.
As it's lit up, it looks like it is starting to turn as though it's going to go pop away now that it has something to eat.
Okay. I have ideas.
It is your action.
Start
You tell me
it.
what pieces of the ideas I could do. Okay, so I would like to
Give it a
use
shot.
my 50 feet of rope,
Okay.
like tie it around a thing.
All I can give right now gotta save up for Mobicon, but you have taunted us for the last time. Hashtag hack attack.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
So I want to wrap a rope around a limb,
Okay.
and I want to. So that's in Dr. Sandra's stuff.
Yes.
And I want to use a force field. Treat his armor glows brightly,
Correct.
so that I can be like a lamp and swing around like this, so that I can entice the frog to stay, because I look like a flying bug.
Flying bait. I like
And
this
it'll
game.
be a force field that I'm flying around this tree thing. And
Okay, I will require you to make a ninja stuff roll for
Okay.
the swinging and a
Sure.
sorcery roll. Oh no, your ability you can just do, so that is
Yes.
not.
Okay,
But that is
and-
currently active.
Yeah, and that's what I would like to do.
But a ninja stuff roll.
And then maybe the frog will try to eat me, and in doing so, expel the butler. Crap. Oh wait.
You have not used your.
I have not used my Patreon.
And you have
I'm
a
gonna do that.
10.1.
Yes.
So I beat it by.
So take away
6.
10. Beat it by 6. That is very, very. The most adept ninja moving with rope that you have seen, and for you that's something because you are quite the ninja yourself.
I'm an ace.
Thank you.
Apparently,
Wow, Doctor.
the doctor has picked up some ninja skills like yourself,
me.
Illinois, and she just lights up. And it's like a cat toy or a bug trap.
So do I start?
Yeah, you were definitely a little enticed.
Yeah.
Kind of want to reach your
It
bird
works
swan
well.
around.
You can swap me. It's fine.
It's
I
a
have
great
force
question,
field.
Archie.
Does get it.
Green Paradox has an excellent question. Wouldn't swarm form look more enticing?
Right?
No, Perry.
No, I wanted to glow.
Quite possibly. Griffley, you're inside the mouth of the giant frog. It's slimy, it's crushing you with its muscles in the mouth, and probably going to move you into a digestive area relatively soon.
Yeah. Acid. Bad.
Yes, acid, very bad. I'm going to suggest that I actually appear back on the boat, as that is actually where I am needed.
Will you
Lest be
walk
on
us
the-
through that real quick?
Well, one of my skills associated with butlering is that 3 times per game I can appear appear anywhere where the other characters need me to be, and in this case, I would say me being out of the frog's mouth is what is needed.
Can't argue with that.
Suddenly, Griffley is just in the boat.
That was unbearably
And as
unsafe.
this happens,
He
the
did
frog
not say
tongue
in the
shoots
butt.
out in the air
I did not. I
and
said
slams into
boat.
Dr. Jenika Clarkson, yanking her through the air and into the mouth. Now, your armor shield of 50 points absorbs the crushing damage, but
Yes.
you are still in the
Oh
mouth.
yeah, I did
Which
it.
means you have 30 points of force field left.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
And the frog is glowing, I'm assuming.
Its whole mouth is glowing because the skin's fairly thin, you know, and the neck, it's like a lamp. It would be cool if it wasn't so terrifying.
Yes.
It's really gross
And
in here,
she's
guys.
holding a rope, is that correct?
Yes, which is coming out of its mouth and tied to a tree.
Oh, that's good.
It's like we went fishing for a frog and caught it.
You guys would be in so much trouble if Crash was here.
Why?
Because that would be one of those ball on stick toys for him.
Is it attached to you?
Well, I am holding it.
Holding it. My turn?
Back to the top.
Okay, I'm going to. It's in the water.
Griffley's next to you and now.
Well, I already took off my boots
Yes.
because I was gonna jump in on him. So I was like, watch my boots, and I take the.
Fun reminder, Aquamarine.
Oh yeah.
Do not forget that rope is hemp and hemp is textile.
Oh, that's neater than the thing I was.
Tactical advice. You're welcome.
I like that.
It's what he does.
Okay, yeah. How far am I from? Oh, I don't have it's my brains.
You just grab hold of that rope with your mind if you
Let's
want to
do
do
that.
something. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna put the switchblade that I was gonna use to jump down there and cut her out in my mouth.
Yeah!
Perfect. As I
Knife in mouth.
mind control that textile, the rope to pull her out of there.
Me out of it?
Yeah, just.
It really,
hard as I
yeah,
can.
that's about the sound, but really, really loud, and this glowing,
To
just comes
Slimy, glowing force field ball.
trailing green goo.
That was a thing.
Yes,
And
of
leaving
course,
a
you're
very,
useful.
very disappointed looking and surprised frog.
Well, how cute is that?
Hey guys, come on! I thought we were all friends here.
I didn't know it was Kermit. You told me it was Kermit.
He's eating us. It's not Kermit.
Kermit wouldn't.
Such a good impression. Oh wow. If Kermit were in Jumanji.
But
Dr.
guys,
Clarkson, you have been ripped out of its mouth. The rope is just flying through the air. You're familiar with someone's technique. And
Sure.
You're pretty sure where that's coming from.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. No problem.
She has a switchblade in her mouth while she's doing it.
She's a rad!
And has, for some reason, taken off her boots.
Was gonna need it.
Cool.
The rogues don't need
glowing?
shoes.
Oh yeah, you're still
Ask
blowing the
Die
30
Hard if you
points
don't
of armor
believe me.
up from your shield.
And
Yeah, that.
That won't go away until you
Didn't work
dismiss
well
it or
for
the 30 damage more is done to it.
awesome. Can I like reach out of it and stuff?
Oh, it doesn't block you at all. Think of it as like a glowing field surrounding your whole body.
Sweet. Okay, so I would like. Does anybody have? Oh, okay. I have a grappling hook.
Yes, you do.
Okay, and I'm going to like take some plants and kind of. What I'd like to do is get some plants that are poisonous to the frog, put it on the grappling hook, throw it at the frog, so the frog will eat it and then die.
Whoa, savage.
So you want to very, very quickly gather up several plants that are poisonous.
Yes.
Then you want to attach them to a grappling hook.
Yes.
With the hook, I assume.
Yes.
And then swing the grappling hook at the frog.
Yes.
Hitting the grappling hook perfectly in the frog's mouth.
Yes. Or like a fishing lure.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the frog will eat it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was picturing this the correct way.
That's what I want to do.
And you want to
kill
do that
the
in
frog?
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Which I think is even more awesome.
Like.
We're going to
Under
take some
6.
serious
I clocked
penalties for this. Okay. So give me your biology test first to identify the plants.
Okay. Yeah, I beat that by 8.
8. Okay. Give me a ninja stuff test at -2 for ninja stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I beat it right on.
And then give me a throwing test at -4.
I don't have throwing. Wait, athletics.
Throwing stuff.
Athletics works.
Beat it by 1.
Beat it by 1 with the -4.
Oh, crap.
Penalty of 4.
Right, 15. No.
No, okay, you do not hit the mouth of it, but you do have the baited hook of poison out there in the water.
Hopefully it looks enticing for the frog.
Is it human-sized?
I don't know. I stuffed a lot of plants
Mr.
on that
Man's
grappling hook.
Well, I
You are on the
believe-
boat, Slimy.
Yes, I will clean myself as best I can quickly. I will level the safari rifle and take a shot at the brute.
Make a shooting test for me.
I missed that, but I will use my buff.
Thank you, Petrie.
Thank you, Pigeon. And that is 60 damage, correct?
Correct.
The bullet flies true and hits the frog square on the side. There's a lot of side to hit, but that safari rifle is a very large caliber weapon, and it does this tremendous amount of soft tissue damage. The sound that it makes is somewhat between like a howl of pain and a deep throated ribbit. And it immediately spins on one leg and bounds off into the darkness. And the jump is just massive, like a football field jump out of sight.
Are you still holding the grappling hook?
Well, he didn't get the grappling hook. It was just laying there, taunting him.
I was kind of hoping you would, just for that.
That would have been amazing.
I was really.
Ah, well, we've taken care of that.
I immediately regret my decision.
Within about a minute or so of the giant frog leaping away, the crickets and bugs and the noises all come back.
Oh.
They were afraid of the frog.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
That's fair.
Yes, fair game.
Big,
I've
scary
never
frog.
been eaten by a frog before.
What was it like?
The inside of the frog was very interesting.
Yeah.
I learned more about the anatomy of a frog than I ever
Did
really
you
wished
see?
to know. I was glowing,
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
could see.
Wow,
Yes.
weird.
Yes, I didn't so much see, just experience
Yes.
the crushing, gooey...
Claustrophobic.
That
Yeah.
was quite harrowing. I was very scared the whole time. I'm trying things out.
Do you have
Being
feelings?
sarcastic
Do
right
you
now?
have feelings?
Yes.
Oh,
I have
sure.
feelings. I've had 4 of them. They were delightful.
Which
What
feelings
were
did
they?
you have?
Oh wait, that one was very bad. But most of them were delightful.
Which one was
I don't have names for them yet. I'm calling them different colors right now. Pink was my favorite.
Excellent.
Is that a boat?
That
Yes.
we're on?
No. Off in the distance. Is that a boat?
Tom's right.
Oh, crap.
You've hit the edge of the marsh.
Do the talking.
You've hit the edge of the marsh, and there's an upturned, like, ancient-looking galleon, like the kind of
Wait.
hundreds of years ago would be.
Upturned?
Yes.
An item.
Like
An artifact.
it fell straight down, nose first, into the dirt. And it looks like it's from maybe the 1500s or something. You've studied a lot of history, and
Yes.
it's not aged like from the 1500s.
Huh. It isn't exact.
And it's aged like maybe a few months.
I mean, you guys keep putting boats on water. You even gave people a boating skill. It was inevitable. Hashtag hack attack.
Uh-oh. I think it's done.
Oh.
They have
Is
one.
it done?
They do. They've got one.
This is gonna be great.
I'm gonna figure out what it is. You go ahead and narrate.
There's a boat in the distance,
It's
eh?
hit. Part of the
Oh,
front is
the
buried
artifact.
deep into the mud from it hitting, but the majority of the forecastle is still poking out of it. The masts are still there.
Can I describe the origin of the boat?
Probably Spanish make, 15th century, 14th century maybe.
Queen Isabella?
Something like that perhaps. Can't make out a name on it.
Is there any damage to the boat? Say in the shape
yeah.
of...
It looks
hand?
like more looks
A
like
hand?
more like the damage of it falling a distance and impacting.
A hand?
Falling
the
a
mud.
distance from above?
From above, like it really looks like it fell straight down, and then just.
A hand?
Well, I'm just saying, we saw a frog the size of a tank moments ago.
Oh, I thought you knew something about a specific hand that would have taken a boat out of the sky and made it fall into the ground.
Oh.
No, just projecting.
That sucker fell.
From the
For
sky.
sure. Yeah. I don't know how. Or why.
Well, shall we investigate the boat itself?
Yeah.
Indeed. Adventuring is what
Absolutely.
we're here to do.
Let's check it out.
Getting on board, it looks like someone went through here and it was in a hurry at some point. A lot of the stuff is shifted since it fell, but from the looks of it, at one point was in its upright position. Someone went through the cabins really quick, grabbing things, and they're
They
not on the
looted.
boat.
They looted,
It was looted.
which makes sense.
We were gonna loot it.
You are exhausted, muddy. It's about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning at this point.
I bet we could scrounge up
And while the boat isn't the greatest place, it is, however, dry, out of the musk, and out of the
Does
mud.
it have any bedding?
There's no blankets on them, but there are some cots that are still there, that are present. It
I'll
is
take
much
first
better
watch.
than the ground or the mud.
Yeah, you guys can get some rest.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna keep a lookout.
Thank you, very charitable.
I'm going to be in the most internal cabin as I am still glowing. And I
Yes.
wouldn't want to give us away.
You can dismiss that at any time.
But-
But when you do, you lose the other remaining points of armor.
No, I'm
that are
just going to
left.
keep it.
Okay.
I'll just stay hidden.
You get about an hour into your watch, and exhaustion takes you, and you pass out.
No.
Your chin just falls down.
Crap!
In the early dawn, you can hear noises, and that's what stirs you from your sleep. Moving to one of the portholes on the ship, you can see massive quadrupedal lizards.
Quadrupedal lizards. Wait, are we all awake now?
Yes. They have long tails and long necks, and they're along the shore of a big lake that's out on the other side of this marsh, 200 or 300 yards. It's not particularly that far.
Oh,
Each is
no.
about 20 feet tall or more, and they're more than
20 feet
100
dinosaurs.
feet, more than 100 feet from nose to tail. And like
Dinosaurs.
they will reach their head down and grab big, giant mouthfuls of grass and pull them out.
Their long neck.
Oh yeah, really long necks and long tails.
Well, those kinds of dinosaurs.
There's some small. There's about a half dozen of them. 3 of them are much smaller than the others. Looks
Baby
like
dinosaurs.
juveniles. As you're watching this, one of the juveniles gets close to the water, slightly away from the others to get a drink. One of its nearby makes this really loud bleeding noise, but before the juvenile can move, a crocodile head the size of a city bus comes out of the water and grabs it and pulls it back in.
Oh, baby.
And then the others turn and the whole ground shakes and stuff's falling in the galleon as they charge off into the jungle.
No.
Ha, nature, but larger.
Large
Splendid.
nature. Yeah.
So, good news, bad news again.
Oh, I hate good news, bad news.
No, it's not all bad. I still have not been able to locate Miss McFerrin. I apologize. But I believe the artifact that you must study is located to the north of here. In a temple, on a plateau. You can't miss it. It's a temple on a plateau. If you follow that river downstream, you should be able to get within sight of it in just a few hours. You should be able to make a raft or a boat from the parts of this vessel combined with
Oh, you do that?
whatever you got from the box.
Got it. Make it down the river.
All right, adventure, chop chop.
Down the
Wait, are we
river.
going in the river with the Mosasaurus that was just eating the Apatosaurus?
Good eye.
Yeah.
No. That was sarcasm.
A sarcasm? Mm-hmm. So wait, we need to go down the river. What did you say, Tom?
Down the river,
And-
heading north
Yeah, heading north.
towards the plateau that has the temple on it.
And not be eaten by the Mosasaurus. Who
Well,
just ate
maybe
a
we
baby
could
Apatosaurus.
If you
Walk on
stay
the shore?
towards the edge of the river, wouldn't the Mosasaurus be too large to...
Yes. I'm suggesting we do not raft.
Oh, then take that route.
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, you could walk, but it will be a much longer trip.
So raft, but in the shallows.
That would be my advice,
Shallow.
tactically.
La 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 los.
All right. Well, we can do the safest thing for you. I don't care.
I should point out the river to you, shouldn't I?
Aren't we right?
If you were
please.
thinking this right here is the river,
Oh.
and it is, but the river that you must follow is this one heading north.
When
That
he
heads
points, you
downstream.
can see it. And what he's pointing out, you calling it a river is a stretch. A stream with grass is more accurate of a description.
A
Seems like
creek.
it's coming off of this
I did
lake
not feel
here.
comfortable using that word as I am not colloquially from a place that uses the word crick.
How about
Fair. Very self-aware, Tom.
creek?
Ah, yes, like Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson's.
His was
Or
more
so.
like a river, though.
As you're staring out,
Really wide.
it starts to snow.
His eyes
What?
were like a river.
What?
Good thing I
The
got
temperature
my
is
snow jacket.
rapidly falling.
How is it?
Got my jacket. Put on your jackets. We don't want to catch a cold too.
I should row faster. Given this temperature, it will not be long before this river begins to freeze.
Oh, okay.
Are we having
Should we
ice
just-
skates?
That is unnaturally low.
It has
Temperatures
dropped.
in this tropical area should not drop this quickly or this much.
Oh, so this is weird right now.
Ah,
Yes, with the
More
anatomy
weird
of
nature,
lizards,
yes.
you would not want to
no,
be a cold
not
blooded
weird
animal.
nature. This is not nature. It is summer.
Ah,
Some.
In a span of about 30 minutes, the temperature drops at least as many degrees. The
Well.
change is traumatic.
Yes.
The metaverse is here.
The metaverse is here?
I pity the.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
That means that it's not this world that is snowing. I mean, it is snowing in this world, but it is not this world that is making the snow.
So there's another world that's making the snow, but we're feeling it here?
No,
No.
very difficult to explain, but the metaverse seems to follow pilots. When they change things, it changes things.
Did I change things?
Like the strange traveling flood that goes through the Weird West.
Is that what this is?
It's like that.
yes, that flood was rather a pain.
So the snow followed one
Wait,
of us?
you were in the flood?
It follows
found
all
us.
of you.
Snow? Where did we...
Not the snow, the metaverse.
The metaverse where the snow came from.
As you are
Snow.
tied to it, it is tied to you. And so things happen.
Has that been happening this whole time?
I believe so. I don't know. I have not been following you. It's been happening to them since the very beginning.
Lots of weird stuff happen all the time.
Huh.
Okay.
The snow is really starting to come down now. Big, thick flakes. Just constant.
Well, we should probably take some
And the
shelter.
wind is picking up.
We gotta get under something.
We have a raft.
On the hillside, a little ways away, you can see a couple of those apatosauruses. One of the juveniles falls and collapses in the snow as its body temperature drops.
What are you doing?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We gotta stop the snow!
How
We're gonna change no. I don't want to keep changing things to change things like
can
that.
my
Simpsons
sunflare
episode,
heat things
the
up?
toaster.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Another one.
Going back and trying to change it, but it doesn't work out, and they have lizard tongues at the end, and he's cool with that.
If I had
Stupid bug, you go squish now. Yes.
some Eliana something, could I like turn on the sun?
You could maybe try, but you're fighting a power that might be beyond your control
Better
here.
save that baby dinosaur. This is where I save it.
Okay, let's put it on the raft and bring it to like the cave that we're gonna use, and then we can make a fire.
The baby dinosaur is bigger than your raft.
Significantly.
Okay. Well, we'll freeze if we don't take cover.
We have to. Yes, take cover.
Your powers of the sun should be enough to keep anyone on the raft warm enough to live.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
You
should
are-
That's good news at least.
You are warm-blooded individuals. You don't suffer the drawbacks that
Of
cold-blooded
cold-
animals do.
yes, that's what I was saying.
The
But I was
temperature.
pitying the
The good news is it might have just gone into a very deep hibernation very suddenly.
No, I know
That
this.
is possible.
It's possible.
Biologically. I looked it up.
Yes, yes. Is it going into this deep biological sleep on a farm upstate with lots of room to run and play?
Oh no, that Apatosaurus is freezing to death. I was trying to be nice. Don't tell Dr. Clarkson.
She already knows.
Yes, well, you are both a doctor and a biologist in
Yes,
this
I'm
world.
a doctor in many ways.
Many doctorates.
The river is starting to freeze, as is the lake.
It's moving cheerfully along. Well, I would suggest we,
The adults are beginning to struggle.
Oh, we gotta
faster.
stop this. We need to find the artifact.
Perhaps if you were to leave the area, the blizzard would follow you. And leave the poor, innocent
Let's go.
creatures
Go
alone.
as fast as we can.
Let's
Post haste, yes.
Walk on
The raft
walk
is
on
no
the
good
creek.
at this point.
Can we
Wow.
skate?
Do you have skates?
Maybe I have some skates. I could make
Can
us
you
some-
manufacture
I could
some
lash
for
us
us?
together some skates.
She can build anything.
And
Ah.
some sun slats, like sunglasses that are like pieces of wood with slats in the eyeballs.
So we don't get
that we
snowblind.
Snowblind.
You said slats in the eyeballs?
Slats.
Like on the. I know what you're talking
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to make sure that we cover our feet with some skins.
about. Who are we
Skins I
skinning?
got.
Oh, you just have.
I'm an explorer.
explore.
I'm exploring. Exploring. I have stuff.
Exploring.
Yes, yes. I remember there was a time I was traveling through the Canadian wilderness, and I came across a group of folks who bound a strange wicker-like designs to the soles of their feet. It enabled them to walk
Sandal.
atop the snow.
Snowshoes.
And they were able to cover ground significantly faster.
You're brilliant. I make those too.
Snowshoes and skates you put together.
Is that glasses?
So while we're on the water, we can
And Kanye
skate.
sunglasses.
Pretty soon her whole new winter-fall collection is out.
Yes.
Available at Sears.
And as you set out down this river, while the snow blocks a lot of your view, you can kind of see back the hillside. It seems like this blizzard or snow, whatever it is very much centered on you.
Great.
Good thing we're outfitted now.
Yes.
And while you can't look back to see if those creatures survived or died, at the very least, anything else that hasn't died yet from it won't be.
We saved the
It is, however,
baby.
exceedingly uncomfortable, even for you in these warm clothes. It is a full-on blizzard that freezes the water.
Oh, is that?
So it is very, very cold. Your powers are pretty much being used constantly just to keep them warm, and even then, it's still chattering teeth.
Well, at least it's created a nice walking path. So the megalodon, was that what it was? What was in there?
The beast is like a mosasaurus.
The Mosasaurus didn't eat us.
That's true.
And at 8 o'clock here, I'm going to take one moment here because they have purchased the other news flash, and I'm going to use that up as well. So, news flash number 2. The viral video depicting a man launching himself using a car as a catapult was determined, in fact, to not be fake. This information directly contradicts statements made by federal authorities investigating the incident. The spokesperson for the FBI has declined commenting.
What?
Car catapult?
Crashapult.
Sentinel City
Ah,
stuff.
No.
Yeah, Crash used a Prius as a counterweight to use a car as a catapult to launch himself into another car, I think. Right?
It was caught on cell phone video.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Look, let me just break it down. It
It
was
was
super
awesome.
dope.
It was super cool.
Sounds cool.
Now, the river would have been a little more than glorified stream, but this one it's just ice. It's
Yeah.
pure ice. You can even like see through it. It is so shallow; it's frozen all the way down. And at one point, it's kind of clear, and there is a Snickers bar.
No.
In there.
It's frozen in there now.
A Snickers bar,
How'd that get
frozen
there?
at the very bottom of the stream.
Tom.
Like
It's just
4
not frozen.
feet of
It's
ice
still
down.
good. It's still good.
Tom.
Yes, I'm here to serve.
How'd that Snickers bar get there?
I do not know.
Really?
Really.
What?
But,
But you-
given the cold weather, I should recommend getting it out. They are packed with peanuts and really satisfy.
It's always time for a break. Is that what's the slogan of it? Take a break.
That's a Kit Kat bar.
Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. No, it's like, just come on. What's the Snickers? Just like sit down.
It's
Take
hungry
a break.
white
Here.
wait.
Hungry wide wait.
Eat this. You get forgetful when you're hungry.
Thank you. I need the Snickers. Let's get that Snickers bar. Hungry?
I
It
have
is frozen.
I have a survival
Frozen
knife.
Snickers
I
are
can dig it out.
delicious.
So you mentioned Snickers bar, and here's a Snickers bar right here.
Yes, and a blizzard in the middle of a tropical, like, jungle.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, take a note of that.
Yes, the blizzard was more impressive to me, but
Snickers don't exist this year.
So, therefore,
Yes.
how did it get there?
I don't know. I don't know how the
The
blizzard
Metaverse
got
is
here.
coming. Is that the answer?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this place, really. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I know that there's a 15th century Spanish galleon that is parked in the middle of a swamp upside down. I know there's a Snickers bar right here under the ice.
And ahead of you, about 50 feet, crashed into some trees is an airplane, which does not exist in 1916.
Or in Paleolithic era.
In fact, looks really familiar. Like you swear you saw like a documentary or something as Jenika at some point where this plane was in it.
Shall I roll to see
Yeah,
what I know?
it looks really familiar. Like you've seen that.
Yeah, I got an 8, so...
That's Amelia Earhart's plane.
What? We found it?
Except, she doesn't exist yet.
Oh, well, that makes some sense.
Well, she is born, but she has not made her flight.
Let's
Totally.
go examine the plane.
Yeah,
I bet I could get it working. Whatever it is.
Oh.
let's try.
That's so interesting to know. A place where it went.
What?
Of course no one could find
what
it. It
famous?
was here.
What famous Spanish ship wrecked?
You didn't
It's
get
the
your
one.
name.
It's the one. Is it the one that had all the
Didn't
gold on
look-
it?
Why didn't we look on the side?
What was the? It wasn't there. I looked.
Oh, it wasn't there.
What was the one that had all the gold on it?
I don't know the name of the ship.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
Oh, that was
Chat
not
knows.
it.
That was not it.
Okay.
Chat, you have the Google. Use it.
Wow, well that's super interesting.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of things that have been lost. Maybe we are in a place where lost things are.
Is Snickers
Like a
bar-
land of the lost.
Of the lost? No, that seems too on the nose.
You're right. Plus, of all the creatures we have met, Sleestacks have not been among them.
Indeed.
Excuse me one moment. Continue, please.
We are.
So, okay, we're in this land. So we should examine this plane.
Should we grab that Snickers bar?
Yeah,
Oh,
let me dig it out.
absolutely.
So I have a survival knife. I'm just gonna hack at the ice.
I recommend using chunks. They're delicious.
chunks of ice.
Chunks of Snickers.
Well, sure. I have to dig it out first.
Oh, yes.
Yes, besides, Griffley has never experienced nougat. This will be a treat.
Griffley,
But you knew
you've
the
been
word.
allergic to shellfish. How's your peanut situation?
Who could give an EpiPen?
Peanuts actually are fine. However, some of the other more exotic nuts do have some.
Oh, like a macadamia.
Do not worry, Griffley.
This is not exotic.
Peanuts are not shellfish. I looked it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey Tom, how do you look things up?
Google, how do you look things up?
Well, it depends on what avatar I'm in. But do you go to a computer and Google it?
I am a computer.
So you
that
just
would've been
like
cool.
look back in your head.
You know, I'm not all the way here. I'm really all the way there.
Right.
But I can see here and talk to you.
Right.
But I have Google.
In you.
Well, with me.
Like you are like Google.
I am like Google.
Okay.
But like 15% better looking.
What does Google look like?
15% worse than me.
Ew.
And that scans.
All right. Did you get that Snickers bar?
I did. Oh yeah, I got it.
Yes, you have a frozen Snickers bar.
I'm gonna use my survival knife that I dug it out with to chop it.
Into 3 pieces?
Yeah.
It is the best thing that you have eaten in quite some time. In fact, for these avatars, it's probably the tastiest, most delectable little treat they have ever had in their entire lives, with all those wonderful artificial sweeteners and such in it. It's beyond
sweet,
belief.
salty thing.
Such pure sugar. None of that beet nonsense.
Beet sugar.
Yeah. Exactly.
Doesn't have that beet aftertaste.
Yes, you can always tell.
That's so Mars, whatever.
Investigating the plane, it is most certainly Amelia Earhart's plane.
Wow.
Is she in it?
No, there's no person in it, and someone stripped a lot of the parts out of this. And unlike that galleon, which though it's much older, seems to have been sitting there fairly recently, this plane looks like it's been here a while.
Huh.
Completely overgrown.
Bizarre.
Okay.
And somebody took out most of most of the parts you would need if you wanted to make a working motor.
Not here.
Someone had the same idea as you and pulled those parts out of it.
The jokes.
Let's find them.
And whoever they were, they knew what they were doing.
How long ago? Can I tell?
Several years.
Okay, well, maybe.
Is there a tree that we could climb up to or we're just following this?
Just following the river right
Following
now.
the
The
river.
snow is starting to get a little less.
That's good.
Oh.
The warm weather seems to be combating it, and it's resulting in a lot of mush.
Excellent. That makes traveling very easy.
Slush.
Yes.
All right. We continue, I suppose.
Yeah. Is there anything
But-
in the plane that's worth?
It looks ransacked. You know, someone who's definitely went through here several years ago and took anything that was of real use. It's a decent shelter if you needed a place to stay, but it's still early in the day. You have not gone very far.
Are there any personal items?
Yes, personal
Amelia
effects,
Earhart?
books.
Not anything of note. No. Being out here in the jungle for a couple of years has not been good to the interior.
That makes sense.
Well, shall we press on?
At this point, the snow is almost completely stopped. You have the occasional earthquake, and the temperature is spiking the other direction.
Oh, good.
It's melting, and there's just this muddy,
Super
nasty soup. It's really humid. It's really, really, really uncomfortable. The discomfort you've experienced in temperature range and it changing back and forth in the past couple of hours has been truly, truly horrifying.
I can take it.
But nothing weirder than some of the strange things you have dealt with in the past.
Sure.
Big frogs.
And
Big spiders.
that also would not be the first time you've seen a boat fall from the sky.
True. Very true.
Really?
There weren't flaming
We saw an upside down
flaming
boat.
Republicans
Oh,
rope
what?
chained to it. Anyway, yeah, that was a whole other thing.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. We were on an upside down boat, but we didn't see it fall from the sky.
We've also been on spaceships.
Got me beat there.
No spaceships.
Not yet.
True.
Now the snow is backed off a little. It's mushy and nasty going through, but you're able to use that raft again, the Zodiac, and you're making a little better time. You start to hear shrill bird calls in the distance, and as a naturalist, they don't sound quite right to you.
They're not communicating in regular bird song.
Most definitely not. It seems like hunting.
Oh.
Hunting?
Birds of prey.
Oh.
And then you hear the sound again. This time it's further ahead and to the right, and then a few minutes later, further ahead and to the left, and then behind you again. It's almost as though they're calling out to each other.
Are they telling each other about us?
I ready my rifle.
I would presume so.
moving through the tall grass, you see it shift
Oh,
and
no.
shake. Different little trails moving through it in your direction. You catch a glimpse in the grass just for a second of a reptilian head that looked to be about a 5 foot or so tall creature, the narrow pointed snout full of sharp teeth and a long tail behind it.
Oh.
It reminded you of a really bad, really good 90s movie with dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
Except, you know,
It's really
accurately
good.
sized.
Is it a raptor?
Yes.
Giant raptor?
No.
Oh. Oh.
5 feet from nose to tail.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's weird.
Actual size, not made for a movie size.
Interesting.
They do have very sharp teeth.
Why is this one to scale?
Well, the Apatosauruses were to scale.
And they've clearly spread out into like a half circle, moving in very swiftly in your direction.
Lost things, for sure.
And as they're coming in close, you're bracing yourself, getting your rifle ready. One of them does this move to clear straight from the grass, and as it does so, a much, much larger dinosaur, about 60 feet from nose to tail, kind of bursts up as though it was laying down in the long grass, waiting. It looks kind of like the one you're familiar with, that Tyrannosaurus Rex thing, but it's definitely bigger.
That's no problem. The T-Rex is a good guy.
What?
Yeah. The T-Rex is a good guy in the movies.
In the movies, the last two.
It's been established. That's canon.
And as it chomps down on this hapless raptor and crunches it completely in half, they start to turn to break off their pursuit, and throwing its head back to gulp down, it then turns and looks with its giant eyes at you.
Don't move! Do not move.
Dr. Sandra Kane immediately tells you that that is a false assumption.
Come on, don't move.
Come on!
I believe
Just
this is a
don't
false
move!
assumption. No, it is false. We need to run.
No, it can't see us.
It can. I'm telling you right now, it can.
Why can it see us?
Because it has an excellent sense of smell, and it can smell us. It doesn't need its eyes. It can smell the foulness of us running for 30 minutes and not having bathed.
That checks out.
Yes, unfortunate, but true.
Okay, well, so it's looking at us still?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is your opportunity to attempt to do something or run. It definitely is regarding you as food.
I light a flare.
It is now definitely looking at you.
I throw the flare at it.
Doctor!
It kind of lazily turns its head, watches the flare go by, and turns back, and it's moving towards you.
Has it been
Last
found
chance.
that they're flammable?
Well, everything is a little bit flammable.
True! Run away! Run away!
We can't outrun it.
It's gonna run faster than us. Yeah, yes, that checks out.
Go ahead and make me a biology test.
It's probably going to run faster than us.
You're not sure how fast this animal can run. Various different sized dinosaurs have had all sorts of speed, from some that are very swift, hitting speeds of 5 miles an hour or more, and some being only capable of 10. She
Should we
cannot
try?
identify this species. She tried. This is beyond her. She doesn't know if she can outrun it or not.
We could try.
Definitely.
Yes,
could try.
yes, let's give it the old Oxford try, shall we?
Whatever you say, let's go!
Run away!
Fine.
Run away!
You guys make a break for it, and it immediately is in pursuit. It is not moving really, really fast, but fast enough that it's staying at your full run pace, right behind you. But it is clearly not a pursuit-based animal, as even though it's much larger than you, it's barely capable of maintaining your running speed.
Oh.
But you are not losing it. It's very much eyeing this glowing person that it's chasing.
Alright, we can't outrun it. We have to face it.
Okay,
Listen to it. It's
You're
calling
slowly going uphill, and every once in a while you wind through some brush that slows it down for a second, but it's
just
dogged.
through it.
And then higher and higher and higher you go up into this
All right.
hill. And as you crest it, you come upon a tall rock face. Just flat and sheer,
Plateau.
as far as you can see, except for one little carved canyon
Is it
Can't
so
fit.
small that the dinosaur can't fit?
It would struggle, perhaps, but it might
Go
be able
to that!
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You run
Still
for the
fit.
canyon, and getting inside it's shadier and darker, which is much nicer for the humidity and temperature. It tries to keep pursuing you. It's definitely slowed down. Hits like the canyon walls. It's launching rocks off of it's trying to follow you.
Watch out!
Falling a little bit further and further back as you're running and running. Everybody give me notice checks.
Mind the rocks.
Mind the rocks. I beat mine by 1.
Beat by 1.
Notice. Do we have a notice?
You might not have it, in which case roll against your mind score if you don't have the skill.
Oh, okay. Then I beat it by 5.
I did not. I noticed a dinosaur.
Yes.
I noticed the dinosaur.
The two of you notice little like caves on the canyon side, like scattered about 20 feet up, 50 feet up, 100 just little holes.
Great.
Like burrowed holes on the side. And as you're running forward, there's more and more of them.
Animals with wings live
And
there.
more of them. And as you round the canyon out into a massive bowl-like depression, you're like looking down into the bowl, and there's several other little canyons that open up into this bowl. And there are horse-sized ants all around this bowl, and they start swarming out of those little holes. As you're looking, you can see that giant dinosaur, which is a Gigantosaurus, if you're familiar, covered in these horse-sized ants, roaring as it tumbles and collapses to the ground. There are hundreds of them.
They move fast? And quick?
They're scurrying down from the little holes, swarming in towards you from every possible direction. Give me another biology test, Doctor.
Oh yeah, I super beat that by.
This is so
You strongly
10.
believe that fire is a good deterrent for such creatures.
Fire! I have a flare.
I have fire.
Tom!
Yes?
We need a means of conveying large amounts of flame.
Flamethrower!
Yes, yes. Flamethrowers all around, shall we?
Flamethrowers all around.
I got one. Thank you.
One flamethrower?
Do we have one?
You have a loot box. One.
Flamethrowers. For what purpose?
Ants?
The ants.
Do you see the ants?
Oh!
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at those. Those are really, really big. Well, loot box!
Bye, Tom!
There is 3 nicely, neatly arranged. They look kind of like fancy-looking Ghostbusters packs.
Cool. Is this flamethrower more powerful than my Inferno?
You don't know. You'd have to use them.
Oh, sweet! Strap it on.
You put the little backpacks on, bring it up, light the sparkers, and
Which one's bigger?
now what?
First, I want to see which flame is
Egon.
Nice.
Our
store
went
just
away.
died.
Aye.
I can't see the signal
Store
died.
went away.
Oh.
Alright, so I have a
Okay.
flamethrower.
Excellent. You have a flamethrower, and you have a flamethrower.
And I have another
And there are
thing.
horse-sized ants approaching from all directions.
I'm just gonna. As a warning, not on the ground. I don't want to light anything on fire.
What's going on?
I'm just above.
Where she
kind of-
projects it out, they kind of don't get any closer to that, but there's still an entire circle of them around you. They're keeping the flame distant, but they're just out of reach. It's about a 45 or 50 foot jet of flame, so you keep them about 50 feet away from you with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Working
Super
together, the
intimidating.
three
Same
of
thing.
you can, if you work together, if you're very vigilant, you can keep them at bay, but it is a constant effort of working and slowing. And where are you going to go?
Well, we need to find the plateau.
We need to go up.
Climbing with using the flamethrowers is probably not going to work.
They climb really well.
And they climb really well.
You
What
want to
kind of-
ride an ant?
Yeah, it's exactly what I want to do. Thank you. I want
I
to
got- I
seduce
saw-
and ride an ant.
Oh, I didn't even catch that part.
Lay it out.
Seduce and ride the ant.
Well, actually, all 3 of us are gonna ride the ant.
Yeah, so she has to seduce 3 of them and convince them to let us
Or we
ride
all
them.
fit on one ant. We all ride one ant together.
Oh, okay, that
It's a
can work
team.
too.
Well,
ride.
not my line, but I'm gonna ride it.
You gonna ride it? And ride it?
Yes, please, let's.
All right. That's what I'd like to do.
So explain this to me. I want to understand this.
So they're working their flamethrowers, right? Okay. Then out of like the flame appears me, and there's an ant that I assume is going to be the closest one over here. It's going to see me through the flame. Maybe I could. I'm sure in my gadget I got some music. Then I'm gonna roll my seduction check, and it's gonna see me and be like, and so we're gonna clear a little. We're gonna let it run through. Exactly.
Oh.
I was picturing more Beyonce.
So I had the time of my life is the one that was playing. With the flames, locking eyes with the ant.
Nobody puts Ant Baby in the corner.
That's what I say to it. That's what I say to it.
All right.
She's seduced much less sentient things.
I'm aware, but I wasn't running things then.
And this, it's gonna take us out of here.
Give me a seduction roll at half your score.
Oh, okay. There's no meta points, huh? No buffs. All right, here we go.
There's no anything.
I still beat it by 2. Still beat it by 2.
You share a moment with this ant. Like a real moment. A forever moment.
I rocked that ant's world.
This ant is never going to forget you. Ever.
Cool, good. I don't want it to.
Endless love.
Unfortunately, this has caused it to not be liked so much by the others. So now it's kind of inside the flamethrower circle with you. And its friends will just as easily rip it to shreds as you.
But it's with us?
It's now with you, yeah?
Just get on it!
You have a terrified ant.
I soothe it with my persuasive arts. Performing arts. Can I sing? Yes.
An ant lullaby?
An ant lullaby is being sung. This is actually happening.
Yeah. I actually imagine Lady Gaga's The Cure. I'm just soothing your time. Cover you as you decide. When you fall asleep inside my arms.
I must admit, I'm not familiar with the song, but the ant seems to be jamming.
It's a little crowded with all 3 of you on the ant, but it doesn't seem to have any trouble supporting your weight. It's almost like, it could lift a tremendous amount more than 3 human-sized creatures. I mean, like, it's really, really strong.
It's so strong! It loves my song, right? Yes.
So I have the flamethrower. I'm standing on the butt of the ant. I'm kind of like surfing on an ant butt is what I'm imagining in my head.
I think that's the thorax. I forget.
Right, and I'm flame throwing out the back like this, so that the other ants are not trying to get us from the back. That's my plan.
Delicately worded.
Why do I feel like this is a Danny McBride movie?
I want to name him Auntie. Okay.
Do we know that he's a boy
or her? It is a boy. Right?
He is a drone. Yes, that is the sound of the flamethrowers. He is a drone.
Oh, right, because all the females are queens or something. Right?
Yes, he's a drone, but he has a new queen now.
And they're nursemaids. They do nursing.
It's me.
Somehow, Aquamarine is able to produce the pheromones that the ants use to communicate and has control of this ant. I don't know how this is happening, but, hey, it's Metaverse.
Magic.
But it's rather impressive.
Thank you.
It is extremely.
She seduced a man bun one time.
So where would you like to have this ant take you?
Up!
A man bun?
Up.
Yes.
Like
the
up.
plateau. There's the plateau right with
getting up onto the top, it seems like this is some kind of a rock-faced drone. There are little up above. It's a better view. It's a maze of canyons. Oh, and the little ant guys running around all inside of it.
Where's the plateau?
You don't see what the heck Tom was talking about.
Tom.
But then again, you're completely the wrong direction from where he did tell you to go when you left the boat. Because the whole running from the dinosaur and then into the canyons thing, I mean, he said to go this way, you went this way, now you can't see the plateau. Maybe it's not his fault.
Oh.
Okay, well we gotta go the other way.
But then there's dinosaurs and all the stuff we ran from.
We have Auntie now.
True.
It's true, and flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Let's just point Auntie the direction we need to go and flame throw and go.
And if we fall off, we fight.
We will not fall off. You have a gadget. Make it so we are strapped in.
Oh. Okay,
Safety
we
belts.
go down.
No, safety belts. They
If
can
the
be
ante goes
easily
down, we'll go
unlocked.
down.
We
Okay.
can push
like
a
a
button.
cat.
Yes.
Like release collar.
Release collar.
I mean, I could always. I mean, always.
You always have it.
What do you think? Is that okay?
I believe you. We want to read those talents again. Do you have friends so they know what you can do?
Yeah, I'm a gadgeteer. I always have the right tool for the job, and I can fix it. I can fix things that shouldn't be fixable. With alternate materials.
Nice.
Well, that's
So you very much can, in fact, build a harness system out of the most. You could take one of those flamethrowers, in fact, and break it down and make enough of a system to have everyone strapped in and turn the pressure into an ejection seat if you want. You're that good.
Let's do that.
Ooh,
I
ejection
sacrificed my
seats.
flamethrower.
All right, there are 2 flamethrowers remaining.
Got my own flame thing anyway.
Well, again, I'm standing on the back.
Okay, now we're safe.
You are piloting an ant now at this point. Driving, piloting. I'm gonna go with piloting.
Piloting.
I like piloting. Yes. Up and over the canyon, and it kind of has to go down into some of these ones, and then across, and over because there's so many of them. That
Right.
there's just no way. They don't jump. They just don't.
They don't. Okay.
They climb or they fall.
Oh, let's just climb.
But a lot of them on the cliffs that seem to have no problems. Like the ones that are following you will just drop right off and drop 50, 60 feet,
And
hit the ground, and
fine.
then climb back up. Yeah.
Oh,
It's almost
so they
like the
don't
drop
jump.
does nothing to them.
That is deeply unsettling.
What does it do to us?
You haven't fallen 50 feet yet. You don't know.
Let's not do that.
Yes,
Drive
good
better.
plan.
Yeah,
Good
it's like an
plan.
elevator. I don't want to do that.
No. Drive.
You
Drive well.
finally clear the canyons and you enter a gorgeous valley. The flowers and the smells are just amazing here. It's surrounded by rocky ridge on all sides.
It's quite delightful. I take a note.
Oh,
And
it
I
is
draw little
beautiful.
pictures.
Like hundreds and
As a
hundreds
nice
of beautiful
botanist.
flowers. There are
Botanist drawing
tremendous amount of things you could find here.
I'm gathering things as well. I make a
And
little
making
basket.
your way through the jungle, there's various animal bones of types and sizes just hanging from trees all over the place, like chimes.
Oh, that's not good.
Like chimes, like they've been put there.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely, like chimes.
And if the wind blew, they would make noises.
Yes.
Rattling bones.
Very
Hear
much.
it. I can hear it. Skeletons dancing.
It's not
The
good.
dead man's party.
For more.
Not my kind of party.
Everyone make me notice check.
Oh, good, good.
I hit it spot on.
Beat mine by 5.
I did not notice anything.
2 of you are aware that you are most certainly being followed or shadowed. There's someone or something in the jungle around you, it's keeping a respectful distance,
Yeah,
but it's moving
flamethrower.
with you. Just moving with
know
you.
what it
That would be setting the jungle on fire if you do so.
I just kind of occasionally, so that
no.
not on a tree, just in the air.
You shoot jets of flame through the air several times.
Just to
You're
like-
definitely still being shadowed. And whatever it is not giant ants.
Well, that, at
Should
least
we
we
stop
have.
and face it?
At least we have that going for us. That it's not giant ants.
It's something smaller and capable of being pretty quiet because you're hearing it occasionally, and you haven't seen anything.
Well, if it's gonna attack us, it might have already done that by now.
Except we have flamethrowers.
Still
And you're
have
riding
it.
an ant.
And we're riding Auntie.
We could
Let's
just
go.
keep going.
Gonna keep following us.
Let's keep an eye on it, but
You head deeper into the valley, and there's more and more of these kinds, and they're all you as an animal in natural sense. They're all like small animal bones. None of them are people's or large animals or large, like rabbits and birds and game species, particularly. Lots of them, and they're really well designed. You know, like so that the ribs bones would make the chimes. There's some art to it, not just hanging there.
Okay.
In the path ahead of you, there are 4 figures blocking it. They're about 3 feet tall. They've painted themselves with ashen suits, so they're like a half black, half white, like pale white from the ash and dark black from the suit, all covered in their entire bodies.
the Roddy
They have
Piper,
little,
yes.
they have little bows and arrows on their back and like little simple tools on them. Much more advanced than the spear
spear
throwing
guys.
guys from earlier.
Really?
They're just
wearing
standing in the
suits?
path. Not suits, no. They wear like, they wear clothes though. They're not like the other guys
Wearing
who were,
clothes.
they're wearing the tribal clothes, handmade clothes, grass and reeds. But there's definitely a crafting to it rather than just grab a stick that's sharp and stab something with it.
Maybe
Or
we'll be
grab
able
a
to
dead
talk to
thing and
them.
tie it in a knot
Yeah.
around your waist or something.
There's definitely some crafting. Like maybe a step on the evolutionary process beyond those fellows. But also 3 feet tall. Some of them appear less than that. Like the tall one with his top knot is 3 feet.
Okay.
Smaller than
possible
hobbits.
seduction target. The top knot, I mean.
Because of the man.
Yes, I did. Good memory.
They are staring at you intently.
I start communicating in as many languages as I can. And I'm waving as well. Hi, greetings.
They don't respond to your attempts to talk so much. They look at your hands like they're trying to understand something.
Oh.
And then one of them just shrugs, looks at the other, just turns around and starts walking down the path.
He says, like,
Yeah,
come
just
with
goes-
us.
Just keeps going.
I think we should follow.
Let's follow him.
Indeed.
They move like ghosts through this valley. These guys make no noise when they walk. They don't disturb the bush. They're really good at this whole being sneaky thing. And but being 3 feet tall, it kind of helps them out. They don't have as much to go over. And you stop several times and wait for you to stop and then let large dinosaurs pass. It's almost like they know that they're coming before they get there, and everyone just waits and it goes by and someone else waits. They're really athletic and acrobatic as well, and more start to join in, and are ones from the sides that have been tailing you come out. They're swinging on vines and stuff around you and through the trees, jumping from tree to tree. They're really agile little guys. And you reach what looks like some kind of village that they have of theirs, suspended up in the trees, really high. And there's vines and stuff, and they're running around on it. So that
Ewoks.
their bridges are just single vines, and you can see them, they're just running across single vines, like a tightrope, like it's nothing.
Dexterous.
Good thing I have ninja stuff.
Good thing I have swinging.
There's small platforms with leaves woven overhead to make simple structures. Other leaves are fitted into funnel-like shapes to catch rainwater and put them into little containers. And there are really coffee cup-sized little monkeys just everywhere.
Coffee cup size?
Tiny,
It's teacup
tiny,
monkeys.
tiny
Instead of
little
a teacup
monkeys.
pig.
Maybe the metaverse set us here to start a teacup monkey business.
The ones leading you climb up on one of the platforms, and they wave you to climb up there with them. It's a little bit slower for you to climb them. Even with your skills and agility, you're not a natural tree climber like these guys. And when you get to the top, they offer you these gourds that have been hollowed out, and they're filled with a strange-looking liquid and platters of fruits. And it smells a little funny.
Smells a little funny? What does that mean?
It's fermented.
Like off?
It smells fermented. Yes,
It's
it smells
fermented.
fermented.
Got you.
But it's sweet fermented.
It is very sweet.
Kind of like a Mai
And lots
Tai.
of fruits.
Remember how I wanted a Mai Tai earlier?
They
Want a Mai Tai.
No bones about it. Seems like it's high time to have something happen. Hashtag cool rule.
Oh! Wow. Thank you,
Wow,
Chad.
what?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, a cool
Okay.
rule. All right.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Chad.
you are.
You find the largest platform. They offer you all kinds of these food and drinks. It's really good. The fruits are the perfect
I
ripeness.
highly
and
recommend this Mai Tai.
And a bunch
No,
of them
thanks.
are up there with you. They're just kind of lounging around, sitting, their feet hang off the side. They're eating the fruits and drinking too. And still, not one of them talks. Not a single.
Can I read their faces? Can
There's
I read?
definitely some kind of communication around it. And you're pretty sure it is a facial.
Can they understand me?
You're not sure, but you think you might be able to get some kind of basic communication with them if you work at it.
Okay.
Gesture-based
So-
communication.
I want to talk to them and say I'm friend. I'm I want to be a friend. I would like to communicate friendship. I feel like they're being kind, so I want to offer kindness. Or maybe if they have a sick somebody, I could heal them and.
Give me a soul check.
Okay. Nope.
You're not quite able to breach the language barrier. They can definitely tell you're trying to communicate and they are trying to communicate with you, but it's just, it's not.
It's not working. Okay.
Do we have any spare clothing we could perhaps give them as a gift?
You have all kinds of
We
little
have all
things.
kinds
you
of
might
little
be able to
things.
get them.
So I start pulling out little things to show them oh, look, we have this thing.
They are fascinated by your little technology and anything remotely
Little
shiny,
compass?
and just they love it. They're playing with it. They'll look at it and they shake it around, and one of them will run over and show the other one, even though they have no idea what it's doing or why the arrow's spinning around on the compass. It seems to fascinate them to no end.
I'm just watching.
It's about an hour after dusk that it settles in when you can hear some sounds coming from the bushes, like whooping and cheering.
Oh, it's a party.
Yes. Noises, though. Vocalizations.
Can I
And you
understand them?
recognize the whooping and cheering. And you hear that voice. That's Marjorie. Nothing but telling stories about herself again. She's telling the story about the pirates off the coast of Portugal again.
Oh my god, it's a good story.
And tell you how great it was and how she protected everyone. And she climbs to the top of the platform and sees all of you up there. Takes the nice, captain pose from all those rum commercials with one foot on. What took you guys so long? You can see the glow of a pilot around her. And that is about where I want to end this episode because we do have a waffle that needs to get done today that is cold.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. We got a waffle.
Yes, and it is very important because this got skipped last time because of events happening. I don't want it to get skipped this time. But there is a waffle coming, so if you guys just give us just a minute, Christian will join us shortly and do one.
Okay, excellent. So we're in like an Ewok village.
You will be in an Ewok village.
Ewok
Maddox
village with my
will be
ties.
joining. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Jess will be here next week for that episode as well.
I'm just drink my Mai Tai, be very happy.
Rule of cool.
And the cool rule is going to roll over. We are saving the cool rule
until we have like a battle or something.
It's going into the next episode. It is rolling over. It's not going away.
Marjorie.
Huh?
Yes.
Marjorie.
Yes, Maddox will be joining us in her role in this little caper. And then we're going to follow that in 2 weeks with another fun one with the other cast members who are simultaneously in a different metaverse. Actually, the one Tom referenced earlier that he thought that you were being sent to.
The West one? The Weird West?
Weirdy.
Oh, no, you're in the Weird West.
Oh, we're in
Oh, it's very weird now.
You're just, many, many thousands of miles from any area you're familiar with.
Got it. It's just
several
the same
decades past the last time any of you have been here.
Got it.
I mean, when you were last here, the Second Civil War was going on.
Right.
When you were last here, the Second Civil War had just ended.
Yes.
And now it's just we're on a random island with dinosaurs.
And Amelia Earhart's plane. And that
That's
ship.
out of time.
And a missing
and
ship.
the
Yes,
galleon.
yes.
That appears to have fallen from the sky.
And no, there is no April Fool's joke because I don't do April Fool's jokes. I just don't do them.
Same.
I've never really cared about April
I
Fool's.
am not. I nixed it. We talked about it. We talked about the possibility of it. And the majority of them are just vicious and mean and cruel. And I don't think it's nice to do that to people. I mean, usually I can be vicious and mean and cruel and just turn your hacks against you and be a bad person. And I don't need a special day out of the year to be a bad person to people. I'm that way 365 days.
I feel so strongly about it as well.
Yeah.
I don't like to be messed with.
No.
Mess with others.
I'm not a fan of the most practical jokes and pranks are not particularly fun. Now, granted, I do enjoy watching them, like the television shows with the practical jokes I like.
Now, as Schadenfreude, they're amazing.
Yes.
But
I do admit that there are a lot of them. Any of the ones that like where it's about someone being very uncomfortable, those awkward situations, I cannot even watch those.
I can't
I have to leave the room.
Like Meet the Fockers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't watch that.
Same thing. I can't watch The Office. I can't watch The Office
episodes.
for that reason. When Steve
gets
Carell is
better.
in The Office, I
It
can't
gets better.
because every time he makes a scene, it's. I feel his embarrassment
Yes.
that he is not feeling it, so I have to
Yeah.
leave the room. I just can't do it.
It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, I just no.
What broke me on the April Fool's thing was riding the bus a couple years ago, and there was a guy who every person that got on, as soon as the bus door closed and started to drive away, he was like, "Oh, you dropped your wallet." Huh? April Fool's. Dude, it's 5 a.m. I am not prepared for this right now.
That's sort of impressive. He didn't get punched in the face at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Most of them do really, really bad ones. I have to admit.
That's interesting.
This is my fault. I sprang this on Christian. He was not ready, and I've been making him work this whole episode instead of do the waffle stuff he's supposed to do. But he was going to be here shortly to join us, so I promise.
But you could ask us questions while we wait for him.
Thank you for your patience, Jack.
Yeah, please,
come on
better to do, because you are very much going to be part of this crossover. Well, yeah, Bruno will be back.
Yeah.
Bruno is going to be here. very, very much. Everyone, in fact, is going to be here.
Everyone?
At different points.
Ooh. How do you like the snow? Like the real snow or the snow that you guys provided? Thank you, Chad.
Loved it.
Off
Gave
the
us a
ventilator.
nice passage.
Yeah, I liked doing the ice skates.
I wasn't trying to turn the snow against anybody. It's just the simple fact of cold-blooded animals. I couldn't.
Just the dinosaurs.
I can't.
Oh.
I can ignore physics sometimes, but I can't ignore all of science.
Tell us about the new show on Thursday.
Oh.
Or we should wait.
That's what I was going to bring up.
No, not yet.
You were going to bring it up?
Oh, yeah.
Bring it
I
up.
think Mark should bring it up.
Basically what we're doing is on Thursdays, this Thursday we're going to have, I'm not sure exactly what time, it's going to be probably 5 o'clock or thereabouts. We might be a little earlier than that, might be a little later, but around then we're just going to have some of the folks, not me, who know about wrestling stuff, talking about some big wrestling thing that's happening this weekend.
I guess the WrestleMania is coming up.
35. It's the granddaddy of them all.
There we go.
Are
you
you
going to come talk about it with Christian and Maggie?
Yes,
Oh,
I will be here.
So I'll have Christian and Maggie and Luke and I don't know who else.
James?
I might show up. I don't know wrestling like they do. I'm learning the newer people.
You know more than I do.
I watched wrestling in the Attitude Era, which
I'll be
is
behind the camera.
Like
in the
Hulk Hogan?
90s.
I know who Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah, like he was still wrestling when I watched, and
that's what
I'm a little out of date on the modern guys, but the show was definitely way better than it was when I used to watch wrestling and actually liked it. That the athletics are pretty impressive these days compared to what they were before. A body slam is nothing fancy now. When we were younger, a body slam was pretty dang cool. Now they flip and
scaled up,
spin.
yeah.
And
I mean, that was
flying through the air doing the craziest stuff around, and wow, those guys are
athletes.
Impressive.
I mean, they always were.
And it's really fun to
Yeah.
watch
Different
Christian
kind
and
of
Maggie because they are way
gymnast.
into it.
Well, I just like Maggie's enthusiasm.
Yeah,
in
Maggie
general
is
for
just
it.
like,
I
it's
watched
so
wrestling
great.
one time in my recent life, and it was with Maggie, and she made me like it because she was so excited about it. Also, the knowledge.
And if you don't like wrestling, we're also going to be going on the following Thursday, and for a while on Thursdays, we're going to be just coming in and kind of playing games. It's going to be super casual. I'm going to throw something together. It's not going to be a formal performance show. We'll have chat on so you guys can talk to us. And we're just going to try and have something else so we've got a little more regular content, trying to grow how often we're on Twitch. So in the hopes that more people will catch on to us and we can grow our audience a little bit, because we're just trying to build our audience a little bit. We've got some other shows that we want to do in the future, but we need to have a little bit larger audience to justify the costs with those.
That makes sense.
And so we're doing this to help try and build the audience to just be here more often. And so it's basically we're getting James and myself together with whoever else happens to be available. That's going to come in and just play games on their days off, and we'll play some
Thursday
board
nights?
games, possibly Thursday nights. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can have me
Start
during the
about
summer.
5:30. Yeah, we totally will do that
That
once
sounds
the
so
school year
fun.
ends.
Will you bring a game?
Sure. And we're going to possibly do
Can I
some
come?
role-playing games and do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah. It's just a get together, no paid actors. We're just volunteering our time to try and grow the program. So that's
Cool.
the idea. And so that'll be starting about 5:30 the following Thursday, the 11th, right? I think
I am the worst person ever because I put that waffle on Christian when he was not ready for it and has not finished it, and I didn't communicate well enough with him during the show, so I
next
should have
week?
stretched in through this episode and kept running it right here, as opposed to stopping because I wanted to give him enough time to do it, but I did
Got
not
it.
realize that we were not ready for it, so that is my error, and I apologize, guys. I'm sorry.
Done.
The waffle is still coming, it just is not going to be today.
Next week?
It will have to be next week. And I will make sure that it's actually ready before they do that again, and I really, really apologize for that. I'm sorry.
You're forgiven.
fair.
I wanted to budget enough time for it, and yeah, that's my fault. Sorry.
I blame myself.
But again, we will see you all.
Me too.
I blame James.
We love you all. We will
It's
see you all next week. You should check the show here. Check the channel Thursday to see about the wrestling if it's going on. I'm sure it's going to be. You won't want to miss
Something,
it. Even
yep.
if you don't like wrestling, you're going to be watching people who love wrestling, and their level of
Worth it.
enthusiasm is worth the watch alone. DFA this Saturday.
Woo!
Kofi Mania.
I have to paint next.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
what
See, this is what I'm talking about.
We were waiting for that.
We've got DFA this Saturday. I believe they have a guest GM this Saturday.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, guess Jam.
And then we got table
Who was it,
takes on
you?
Friday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. You can see me on Saturday if you want to. We love you all, and other than that, we will see you next time. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Love you, chat. Thank you.